Okay, that's
Tundra,
new. That's new.
actually.
Treant has now gotten through,
Ooh.
which means they're going for the 1-2, the Lina Treant. Or I guess OG would take Tree.
Yeah. I
Well,
think
Tundra has the
have-
first pick, right? So
Yeah, well, I'm assuming they would want to take the Lina. OG would be forced to take Treant +1.
yeah, there's no way.
Oh,
Lina goes.
Oh my god!
Lina
OG,
goes.
It
thank you.
ends today!
It ends today, round
It
3.
ends today!
This will be it. In before OG beat Tundra, Tundra beat Entity, and Entity beat OG. Dude, that would be the 180.
The Lina doesn't help. It's all the same.
They're so equally matched.
Alright.
Yeah,
I mean, they could double support here. Tree, Rubik.
You could Tusk
they
Rubik
could-
as well,
yeah.
right? I would rather see Tusk Rubik, but 3 Rubik also very solid. I believe that they had to ban out the Lina because of the 3 staying in. Like if they, let's say Tundra is first phasing, which they are, first picking. They pick Lina. If you're OG, you don't really want the 3 anymore. Like what use do you have of Treant versus the Lina matchup? But if you're Tundra, you really want it, so.
Feels like just forced into the corner,
Yep.
back against the
Yep.
wall for a pick.
With the Enigma pick, I guess it's all open for Tundra right now, but this should be their offlane. Enigma has picked up, like especially in the last couple of days.
We went
Yeah.
from it being first phase ban, like high priority,
To being
at this-
ignored
to being
completely.
completely ignored. No one cared about it. It was like a few bans here or there, to now being insanely high priority.
Why are they covering their mouth while speaking? Is it like in,
Can you lip read?
in football?
lip
You know,
read.
like
I can lip read.
Just
I,
in
I,
case
I
someone
lip
can lip
read
read.
that
Oh,
clip
yeah,
we
that
had
33
of
clip.
33 yesterday when
What
they lost
the-
against Entity. I can lip read that one.
Alright. Okay. I don't like the silencer so much as a response to Enigma. It obviously like does cover your team fights and your black hole, but the problem is Enigma has for a very long time not been about only his black hole. You're able to just go for Greaves, play with auras with your team. You get you can go an ether lens build where you're just playing a long range like stun or whatever.
by that shard long range stun. and
Exactly,
whatnot,
yeah. So this hero's not like I would say the best.
Okay, now I
It's-
have to ask. This Naga, carry or support?
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, who knows?
It's very early on. They picked it up, and it's a hero that if it goes to the last pick and you see a good Naga game, you just pick a support. You just pick a position 4. If it's a bad Naga game, you just pick a carry, and it's fine. I think it's very flexible overall. But
Did you like OG when they had Naga support last time? I think that's more where I was going with that question. Like, is it really comfortable enough for them?
I feel like it's more about OG taking the Naga away from Tundra. Like, you didn't ban it, you don't want to let them have this opening Enigma plus Naga. That sounds like insanely difficult thing to play against, and it's something that Tundra have ran before. So you just take it for yourself. As a 4, I think it's very solid. As a carry, if the game is good.
It's kind of like a multi-layered. Enigma if it's a good Naga game and Tiger's willing to play on 4. So you just
The
have
value.
It's just yeah, exactly. It's a value pick. I think the only downside I would see to it is that if Naga, Silencer are your support duo, neither of them are like that good with like it's very low damage support. They're not great at making moves or rotating and doing stuff like that. They're very like
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. Like Tiny, when you see that Tiny, you know what he's gonna be doing. You can see him making these rotations. You can see the impact instantly. You can kind of visualize what his game plan is. For a Naga, it's a little bit more ambiguous right now. If you're a 4, right? Like you kind of help that off lane. Then you're all about that sleep, all about the illusions.
Okay.
What's up?
You're just so scary when you're looking into my eyes. Like, yeah, it's all about that sleep. I'm like, oh jeez.
Why am I scared?
I'll protect you.
I won't look at you
It's
anymore.
threatening.
Here.
Perfect.
Thanks.
No more eye contact.
Yeah, no, I think one thing that I really liked about the Naga is the potential to just like hard stack the jungle. So if OG want to play some farming hero and play a little bit slow for some timings, because their supports aren't doing much, so I would like to see them abuse that. I mean, Silencer as well is pretty decent at stacking. So if they just stack everything, have some hero that just goes ape on the farming and then just hit like a 15-20 minute timing, that'd be decent.
Yeah, we saw that this morning in the Chinese region, right? Like how many stacks were there in the triangle?
That was so sexy.
5, and 1 carried over
And
as well.
carried the
One
one. Yeah, I think that's what big cups
Dude, just for reference, the stacks in this game that we're talking about grew so large they had to smoke the Bat Rider to farm it because they were so mighty,
So much.
so big.
What are OG thinking about with this band? You know, it's taking them some time. Is it more for you want them to protect the Naga, or they need to take away some comfort with Tundra?
They're definitely doing both at the moment, like banning out the Lash and the Bloodseeker, eliminating a little bit of tempo from Tundra that they could have in that early game. Plus Lash obviously can be strong later on, doesn't care about global. So yeah, I can definitely see the reasoning behind it. Do you like the Doom ban? That one is interesting to me.
I hate Doom, so if I see a Doom ban, it's like, oh, what a wasted ban.
It's like
We
33.
already just talked about how they could go in for a hero that needs to farm, is a little bit greedy.
No, he doesn't farm stacks though.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I mean, I guess he can.
If you do a carry that does that, then your off lane
You
has
can. You
more
just take the
free.
small Wildkin, and you dance there with the tornado.
Yeah, true, so true.
Good old times.
I mean, the times I really liked the Doom was when they had supports that could push out waves really well, which I don't think this is that good at. It was like Rubik Tree or something like that. And it was like they could just protect their mid tower, and they kept the mid tower up forever, and the Doom was able to reach like a really nice BKB timing and then get involved. And this game, I'm not sure that will be the case, especially like you have picked two potentially pretty weak laning supports as well. Like neither, yeah, they could die. This Silencer especially, he's at like pretty large threat against an Enigma tiny lane. Like one Avalanche, toss back, done.
Done.
Just like that.
That's what she wrote.
So he probably needs like a carry that can kind of front for him a bit so that he can output the damage that he wants to in lane. Or I think maybe they just focus on pulling, and because Enigma's just going to pull the way back anyway, so.
Are there any like, I'm thinking if there are any laning shenanigans that they could pull off, like put the Naga on the safe lane with the ranged core, something like a sniper that can shrapnel down the Eidolons.
Yeah.
Perhaps that would be an option, and then Silencer can just play with the melee core on the offlane. Okay, so Naga will be the core, yeah.
Okay.
Do we
No,
like...
it's mid Rubik, guys.
Okay.
No, we're not running that one back. No, it was a joke. We saw it once with 9, and that was enough.
Give it to me now.
Do you know what? Like, if you're Neta in this game, you just don't skill Black Hole. You play without it. Like, they just picked Rubik, they picked Naga that has a song, obviously, plus Global. All of these heroes destroy your Black Hole. Just don't skill it. Just go Greaves, Pipe,
Who
Great
needs it
Pact.
all? You got
Who needs it?
3 other spells.
But seriously, like, this is a game in which it's almost impossible you fight for the Black Hole. What do you need? You need Blink, you need Linkens, you need a refresher as well to refresh after the global if you get cancelled.
Yeah.
Or you have to really be careful and time it until the silence is used.
Didn't even mention the BKB.
Oh, of course, and the BKB.
So many. I mean, yeah, they're just going to be playing on the threat of Black Hole at this point. As well on OG, it's like Tiny, DK, these heroes, they're going to be searching for the supports. Like, the supports are the biggest risk this game. How they want to itemize around it is going to be pretty important for OG. Like, whether they want to buy... I know Rubiks like to go Eon Discs to make sure they can get off their spells. Maybe Silencer does the same. Maybe they go for some Glimmer Capes. I'm not sure 4-staff would be enough if they are found. Just they're going to be playing really far back, which means that it's more important now for OG to have cores that can play in front of them and keep them safe.
Tundra's draft just looks very simple and easy to execute.
You
like
think
it
so?
Far. Yeah, like you have the egg to play around, you have this instant stun from the DK, but this is a problem for me. Like they picked the DK very early on, and now there's OG picking up the Timbersaw, who has not the freest game. There is Midnight Pulse, there is Sunray, there are some like percentage-based spells that can blow him up.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see OG figure out a plan and how to position this Timbersaw in the laning stage. Like just that. If his lane is good, he could be.
Shouldn't his lane be very easy? I don't see any like damage for him in laning right now.
Exactly, but that's the question. Like, will Tundra perhaps make some shenanigans and?
But what could they play? Really?
Well, Ursa banned out. I believe OG might ban out Monkey King here as well.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we're seeing that's really solid against the Timber? Like Monkey and Ursa come to my mind. Besides that, we have seen a hero that's... I feel like it could be good here. There's... we had a couple of games of Slark with Radiance versus a Naga. Like, and it actually worked. Like, the illusion-based heroes just don't hurt you. Chinese region was actually building Radiance on a Slark a year ago almost every single game for a bit, and then they gave up on it because it was kind of trashy. But right now it's working into the Naga.
The only thing I'm worried about is that if you have, like, Timbersaw's pretty decent against Slark. Obviously, there's like a bunch of AoE damage into him, and doesn't like that. And on top of that, your 5 is likely this Phoenix, which is another weak laning support.
The lane can be a problem.
Yeah, so I'm just worried about right now this Timbersaw having too much of a free lane. I think Naga should be pretty happy top as well. It looks like OG are just getting much better lanes in my opinion.
Yeah, we did see the Monkey into the Timber before, and I believe Monkey lost that game, if I'm correct, right? It was
Did
DM. It was DM playing the Timber too. So this guy is just completely comfortable. Okay.
Carry DK?
Carry DK. Wait,
Or carry
wait. I don't like either one of these two versus a Timber. Like in the lane, right?
What, between a Tiny and a Dragon Knight?
Yeah,
You
like
don't
both.
like either of them?
Yeah, exactly. Both of them should struggle unless there's a ton of burst damage. Maybe Tiny plus Phoenix bring enough burst damage to the table. But is this Kotl mid then from Tundra?
I would imagine so. Nine was one of the first like Coddle pioneers.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's on him. I mean, it's going to be nice having like a lot of magic damage, and you're going to buy a vessel, I would assume.
This is basically just run them over strat. That's it.
But your safe lane is now 2 strength heroes. Like
Yeah, into a Timber.
into a Timbersaw.
No matter how you put it, it's 2 strength heroes. Phoenix
Yeah, it's
strength.
always like set up for failure right now
There's-
for the laning phase.
There's also a Quap that's still in the pool as well for OG if they want to pick that and just try and run this Coddle over.
I would like that. Like any hero that gets on top of him really makes him suffer.
Yeah.
So, see what they
Oh
Storm.
gosh, there's still Storm
so
too.
basically, it's the same thing, right? Like you mentioned, Co-op Storm just gives you this hero that can get on top of Kotl. Not only him, Phoenix is very susceptible to all these ganks. You have Global to follow up, Storm jumping in. I like what OG has got.
Yeah, I think BZM needs to respond to like every Coddle move though, or because that's the only way they can lose this game. I think is if Coddle just makes his rotations and owns the side lanes. Because I do think that OG's lanes are looking better, and it's going to be a lot of pressure
Rotations,
on
happening.
Coddle to fix that for them.
Okay. Do you think BZM is up to that task? Are you thinking that we might see a shift, that OG might be able to take this best of 1 off Tundra?
Dude, no, I hate to have strong feelings during a draft, but I
know.
really like OG's draft. Like I think it's really damn good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like OG's draft unless DM suffers somehow in the laning stage, and I really can't see that happening. Storm as well. There's a lot of rotation potential from Saxa, from snaking. So.
Well, we love the ban, we love the Timber, we're enjoying OG's draft. We'll see if there will be a little bit of a break in the cycle of these 3-way tiebreakers. We're going to head on into game number 1. It's with B-Cop and Lacoste.
Thank you very much. Back again, and we're ready for game number 1. We'll see if we get different results this time. I don't know.
Game number 3, this is.
Oh, game number...
It's time
3.
to end this simulation, I think, once and for all. This time around, OG, they don't, like, last 2 times they met yesterday or today, whatever day it was, they had a bit of an issue with their damage output. This time around, I don't think that's going to be the problem. And this is a Timber. Like, we haven't seen Timber to, like one that Timber saw that was super popular in the previous patch, the patch before, because he did get nerfed, but this is a good Timber saw game. Like, he should not struggle in the laning stage at all, playing into Phoenix and Dragon Knight, and also carry Dragon Knight. This is popular like 6 months, a year ago. I want to see like the matchup against Naga Siren. I don't think Dragon Knight can match up Naga Siren's farm, especially if she's off to a really good start.
What would you consider a really good start here?
Hand of Midas 3 minutes into the game.
3 minutes? Okay.
I think it was done before, like 4-minute Midas. I exaggerated a bit, but still, I think it has been done.
So we'll see if they can reach your standards. And, you know, DM, we're seeing him on the Timbersaw this time around. Last night, morning today, we saw DM play Snapfire in the off lane. That didn't exactly go too well for him, but this feels a lot more up his alley in terms of tanky, initiating offlaners.
Yeah, it's a good way to start a fight. You have Global Silence to back him up. Misha starting with the Glaives of Wisdom, level 1. Wants to steal some intelligence. Blast misses.
Raised DM, but other than that, things looking okay for OG in terms of the damage taken and what's being used here by Tundra. Got Misha throwing out some glaives now, and Dragon Tail, but Skitter, he's taking a lot of damage and being run down by the side of OG. They don't have telekinesis for another couple of seconds, but Taiga now without the Storm Spirit of BZM, so
It's one of those spells. Taiga did pick up Telekinesis level 1. Not what you want to have for the laning stage, but they did pick up another rune. So let's see what he does with this. He's going to block the camp, so they know about it. Tundra already set up the ward, so this sentry ward that is supposed to take away creeps from Keeper of the Light will get devoted eventually.
Right. So getting rid of those wards is going to be very important. By the way, they went to Taiga up in the top lane with Yuragi and have Misha down towards bottom. How do you feel about the little switch up here for OG?
I'm just thinking about why they would make such a switch. Maybe because Rubik started with the Telekinesis and they want to set the Timbersaw for like this strong early level 1, get him to level 2. And also against Phoenix, so he can't use the dive. Very annoying. Like the value from Silencer in this game is going to be so good. Dragonite blinks in, stuns 33. In a bit of a trouble, especially if he can get close with these illusions to block him.
Can't get in front of him, and 33's forced to run off, and will continue to do so with these illusions at his tail. It's not fun to have to run all the way out there. Now Snake King in some trouble. Misha can get the right clicks out with those glaives to get this kill. They've also got DM coming over. He'll take Timber Chain for that level 2 and has the Whirling Death to get himself that first kill, and Misha gets +2 early on.
Oh, this is really valuable, especially for a hero like Phoenix, who has really low intelligence gain and really low starting mana pool. So this is going to be pretty big, and you've seen what Taiga did. He zoned out 33 completely. 33 sitting at the 3-3 CS.
So the esports bet.io odds already starting to come down and favor OG, because it was Tundra who was favored during the draft, and you can see OG pulling away his favorites. And this is interesting considering both results yesterday, today went towards Tundra when they played each other.
Yeah, lanes are going well. The only big one I see is this Coddle 9, 14 and 5 against the 11 on Storm Spirit. It's the hero that he invented, so he knows all the tricks, what this hero can do. This top lane has been going pretty well for OG, like zoning out Enigma relatively early on. I don't think there's a kill threat on Yuragi because he can dispel things. Early damage from Tiny shouldn't be enough unless they're playing close to the tower and Saksa manages to get off a toss underneath the tower.
Arcane Curse on both these heroes bottom, as Misha just putting out some harassment there and getting them off of DM, who now has one of the reactive armor. What we've seen at times is Timber get 2 in the reactive armor, and then the support can kind of pull away. But we'll see how early that happens for OG, as DM, he's having a pretty free lane up to this point.
Uncontested. We did expect him to have a good laning stage, considering what he's playing into. This Dragonite, like safe lane, he needs time to get online. I'm not sure what the itemization is going to be, whether this is a BKB rush type of a game where he becomes unkillable early on, and then you start to take the fights, you start to pressure the towers.
Dire's courier has been
Ragi
killed.
losing his boots on that courier.
Stupendous.
So not going to have boots for a little while. This Naga's going to be a little bit slow. Despite the fact that the lanes are looking pretty good here for OG, they do have a 1k lead on Tundra. So maybe a little bit deceiving from what we're seeing. But for right now,
Dire's middle tower
I
is
would
under
say
attack.
maybe a little bit of that bolster is coming from the Coddle, who is having an amazing time in terms of CS.
He did kill an Observer Ward, so Misha should know something is up, that they do have vision around because he just planted that Observer Ward. Saksa, 1-1-1 build on Tiny, pretty standard. He wants to have that cleave. It's a good way of dealing with the supports, also dealing with these illusions.
Yeah, try to clean them up, but like you said, the big damage is going to come if Saksa can get one of these heroes under the tower, which with where the creep equilibrium is right now, doesn't seem too possible, and you can see they try there, but it's not close enough to the tower. It just puts Tigan in an awkward position. They have the ensnare, and they'll have a follow-up telekinesis to go with this. So they'll throw him behind the illusions, trying to get these body blocks, and that's not what they're going to be able to accomplish. They wanted it, but Saksa just a little bit too quick with these boots of speed.
They try to go with the play, toss underneath the tower, but still not close enough. We've seen this combo time and time again, where Enigma uses Malefice, then Tiny with another stun, Eidolon split, 6 of those they do decent amount of damage, and Saksa looking for another one. Ragi.
Avalanche and Ensnare on to 33. Garagi starting to run. Titan needs to help out. The damage is starting to build up, and they need one more right click from Saksa. Goes into the mirror image, but still, Saksa gets the kill into Yuragi, and that's with Taiga kind of shifting over and not being by his carry at the moment. So good kill for Tundra.
A bit too close to the tower. Like, they are not respecting this damage that we talked about and the combo that they have.
Now we'll see if Yuragi can even get comfortable again in the lane. Misha's come over mid. That's leaving DM by himself, which is no surprise with the way his lane's been going.
First power rune is spawning.
Ball Lightning, they've got the Vortex, Arcane Curse, Icarus Dive. They'll stop it, but the Ball Lightning to keep up with him. Snake King trying to TP out. The damage, just
the Fire
not there.
Spirit, not enough attack speed to be able to get it. BZM even switched power treads to agility just to have that extra attack speed, but didn't help out.
Taiga, he'll pick up the first power rune. It was that haste. So a little bit of control there for OG, and they're also going to take out this OBS up on the high ground. Coming off the laning phase, what are you seeing here from Tundra? Because they're up 2,000 net worth, where it did feel like for a while OG were getting the better end of it.
Yeah, 9 is starting to become a menace, I would say. This Keeper of the Light boost of travel already finished 6 minutes into the game.
Avalanche and toss onto an illusion, Arcane Curse, and the telekinesis on a Saksa. Knight pulses down, Saksa looking like he's going to lose his life, but just gets the Fairy Fire off and walks behind the tower. Now 9's come over, Yuragi needs to run away, but the Blinding Light, the Illuminate, and the kill for 9 off that rotation. Saksa will eventually fall to the Fade Bolt coming through from Taiga, but that is not a trade you want to be making.
If they get
and you
Taiga
lost
as
Misha
well,
too.
Another Blinding Light is available in 2 seconds, but low on mana on Keeper of the Light. Malefice, ooh.
Unfortunately, couldn't get the Malefice in time, but that worked out well for Tundra.
And 9 already back to the mid lane.
He is playing this hero perfectly.
He's the inventor. 4,000 net worth on the hero, 7.5 minutes into the game. Pretty impressive. They also did block his camps. First they blocked the big camp near the tier 2 tower. Now they blocked the big camp again. DM.
Dragon Tail 9, he's got boots of travel, so he just comes over bottom. TP attempt, Illuminate, just short of the damage to get the kill there onto the Timber Saw. So, still though, pushing DM out of the lane and opening it up for the Dragon Knight. It was a matchup that didn't exactly go well for Skitter, but as things have kind of opened up, now he's taken 3rd in the net worth.
He is recovering, and I see Recovery Midas as well.
Is it still a Recovery Midas if it's 3rd of the net worth,
It's
or is
always
it a
a
building
Recovery
Midas?
Midas, pretty much.
That's all I gotta ask. All right, fair enough. Anybody else going Recovery Midas? No Midas for Yuragi. I think that'll be the only one. Dragon Tail, DM, with 9 here again. He is all over the map right now, and he's looking to get an earn chart. Looks like they're going to get this bottom tier 1. So DM is going to lose his tower potentially, and that's going to be an issue. Snake King moving a little bit too far forward because BZM and Misha are here, but he's got the Icarus Dive. He'll start to run. Ball Lightning and a TP attempt. There's a Vortex available, and Misha gets the kill on a Snake King. Another +2 for him.
BZM needs to be very active on this storm. Like, he needs to play with supports. Timbersaw was off to a good start, but now in the middle of the pack, got that level 6. Tower still there. Usually he's the one that wants to pressure the tower. Skeeter now walking to the mid lane. This Keeper of the Light is going to cause a lot of issue for Timber because he will not have a Dispel. This is going to be a very early Spirit Vessel. It needs 1,000 gold to finish it off.
So they can definitely get that a little bit quicker if they're able to take this tier 1 over mid, and I feel like the idea was putting Skitter there, about to have Elder Dragon form, is maybe they want to push in a moment. 9's got boots of travel, so he can be there pretty quickly. Vortex, going in Saksa, there's 3 heroes, so they'll have the ensnare, they got the damage. Yuragi will get a kill, and Saksa just being out a little bit too far, but again, with 3 heroes coming over to get that kill into the Tiny, it's opening up space for the rest of the team, and they have a 3K net worth lead now.
It's a lot of sustain once they start to get levels. Snaking is struggling, level 3, about to crack level 4. We'll pick up that invis, but at what cost? There is a sentry ward on Rubik, only in backpack, so they can't go for it.
He's coming over, and he's got to be careful, but BZM into the Elder Dragon formed Dragon Knight with a Dragon Tail at hand. Gets kill on a BZM, and now looking over at Misha. Just needs another stun, and they should be able to kill the Silencer. Maybe not even necessary, as Breathe Fire will finish him off. They get 2 kills there, as BZM just goes in a little bit too far, and wow,
yeah, it looked really good until that blast from Keeper of the Light did hit, and the amount of healing, the amount of sustain they're gonna have is gonna be insane. You will have early Guardian Greaves on Enigma. 33 has been farming considering the start that he had. He's now on top of the network. This guy is he's something different. Like the way he finds the farm, his farming patterns, it's pretty incredible. All these small items, we already talked about it multiple times, and now OG, they're gonna smoke. They want to get a big kill, and it seems like Skeeter is the one that they're looking for.
They still Breathe Fire, but Snaking and 9 are here. So Icarus Dive, it's both heroes.
Phoenix
they
only
do get the
level
stun on
5 though.
Snaking. Now they've got the Sun Ray. DM starting to burn real heavily. That metal's gonna get real hot. Taiga, he ends up dead, but BZM coming over from the side, trying to get a kill here out of the Coddle. They should be able to take him out, but they'll lose DM for it. Now Misha up a bit far. They've got 33, and he's got Malefice. That means Misha, they've got locked down to Chase. They still want BZM. They'll throw the Avalanche. They won't land it, and eventually Misha will die to Skitter's Breathe Fire. They get themselves 9, but losing 3 for that is just too many numbers.
And they immediately smoke. There is toss available on Saksa. He might be trying to play with BZM.
Avalanche.
If BZM wants to, I don't know, sound problems. All right, there's going to be a quick pause. Bottle refill for BZM. Rest of the team is smoked, so if Saksa can't get a full combo, he does have an Avalanche and 10 launch charges, so should be fine.
So, I'll do some chat interaction. Do you think BZM is dead? 1 for yes, 2 for no. I like to see the numbers in chat. I'm sorry, I ask a lot, but I think we'll see. You know, chat's going to be divided.
I think he's okay, especially if he uses Ball Lightning. We'll see. Toss is only level 1, so maybe they're not going to be able to close the gap, get in range.
Avalanche lands, and
It
there's the
does
wand into
land.
the toss. Ball Lightning, and Malefice still working. I want to say if they had the Dragon Tail ready, which they had used a little bit earlier, they might have been able to get that kill. It's only level 1, so it's a 16-second cooldown. This tier 1 looking pretty dead for OG. Saksa comes over, Avalanche toss into the team, and a dead Rubik once again.
Their heroes are going to be so tanky. These are like 3 strength heroes. Guardian Greaves about to be finished on Enigma, and these blasts from Keeper of the Light also sustain from Urn. And 9 replenishing mana, lowering the cooldowns on Tiny, so he can start to play a bit more aggressive. Did have that haste rune.
There's that recovery Midas, even though Skitter's sitting top of the net worth at the moment. Going Blink Dagger next. At least that's the idea with what he's got picked up. And we were talking about that Spirit Vessel being a little quick. It's kind of been slowed down a little bit. There's the Guardian Greaves that you talked about.
This is a big timing for Tundra. Spirit Vessel, Guardian Greaves, they can go, like, they already took all tier 1 towers. Problem is Misha's still level 5, so he can't even cancel a black hole. Like, these early black holes don't really matter that much, but still having no global silence available for almost full 15 minutes is going to be an issue.
Yeah, so if they want to go and fight, Misha desperately needs to get to this level 6. He'll have a creep wave coming over, so might be able to grab it from that. Top lane, though, they feel like they got to defend this tier 2 tower. They can't just let this go for free. Gonna blow up the creep wave with the Illuminate and these Eidolons, and they will eventually TP in the Rubik. But there are 3 heroes here, and that's the only response this far is Tiger.
And Tundra is so methodical at playing Dota. They're very clean. They always, like, a lot of their games seem to be, like, boring. I would say people do call it like that, but they're so good at moving around the map and getting the most out of it that it looks like the enemy can't really do much.
It always seems as though they're reacting
It's
at
just
the
like,
perfect times.
if you're not doing anything, you're getting out-farmed versus Tundra.
Yeah. So what would you advise OG to do to kind of compete with the way that they're moving around the map like that?
Like, Naga Siren as hero does come online later than this Dragon Knight, he's ready to go. Like, he wants to hit the towers. He has almost 2,000 HP available, so they can't bring him down. They can't really burst him. So with a bit of a different timings, I think OG might need to play it for a bit of a later timing than take these fights.
They're not too far behind, so later timing isn't exactly terrible for them. We've seen teams just get too far behind when they're looking for that late game. Now, DM, Avalanche toss, Spirit Vessel on him. He'll pop the mech. The Black Hole comes in from 33, and that will finish off the Timber Saw. So, Black Hole used, and a Timber Saw killed for it. Well worth the trade. 33
immediately pops the Guardian Greaves, dispels the Global Silence, and gets that first Black Hole 15 minutes into the game. They're sustained, like we talked about the Guardian Greaves, the Blast, Sunray. It's only level 1 for now, but definitely will be maxed out after. So add that, and they don't have anything to reduce that healing coming out from Tundra. So gotta be difficult. 4K gold lead right now.
Seems like it's gonna be a little bit tough for them to deal with this shard upgrade Malefice too. These heroes don't exactly deal well with that upgrade and the follow-up lockdown that's coming in with Avalanche Toss, Dragon Tail, potentially a pushback from Blinding Light. So that shard is flying in for 33. Making Malefice have that 1.35 stun duration.
It's a lot of stun, and it also creates an Eidolon, so extra damage, you take a fight, you get those Eidolons, then you push the tower. Again, DM, he needs to be careful. That Malefice stun.
And now he's still in Chakra Magic, but Dragon Tail out, and they get the kill on the Taiga. They'll look for the rest. They have the Vortex Stun, a Soxa, Avalanche Toss. BZM forced the ball lightning away, back towards his team. Icarus dive, though. Seeing them for a second, and DM on the run. Skitter has a blink in a second. Who's he going to find? He'll look at Misha. As I sit on DM, but the damage will be there to get a kill here out of the Silencer. There's nowhere for him to run. And after he lands from this toss, it'll be just his dead body that's there as Soxa gets another one.
This was the reveal of Blink Dagger from Dragon Knight. Tundra playing it so clean. Like the Naga's on the different side of the map trying to get some farm going into that Orchid, but 9 protecting himself going into BKB. Understands the matchup. He knows that playing against the Storm Spirit, if he gets that BKB, he's going to be okay. Yuragi trying to play a bit aggressive on 9, but this could be tricky for him, especially if there's a rotation, and I can see Skeeter already running there with the Blink Dagger available.
Yeah, he was throwing these Illuminates out at Yuragi, and then Yuragi thinks he can turn it and snare and damage 9 because he's sitting there with half health when he originally was over.
They saw the courier.
Yeah, they're following the courier. Now Yuragi's forced to saw. TP out. And Illuminate won't hit, but top lane, BZM, he's still in trouble and will fall. The song from the TP not going to reach in time up top, and they will try to kill Soxa. It's not an easy one to get. He's got some help from 33. And that Guardian Greaves were already used, so it's on cooldown for another 25 seconds, but they just don't have the damage to clean up the Tiny anyway.
Tundra getting stuff done on all 3 lanes pretty much. You see Skitter, he's already back to the mid lane, getting the farm, going into Manta style. This, I think it was invented by Gunner. Very annoying Dragon Knight where you like get Aghanim Scepter, you get Manta style, so you can dispel things off of you. You become super tanky. You have like this damage running around with the shard. It's a lot. And also you do have a cleave against the illusions from Naga Siren, so like we're definitely living in a simulation, no doubt about it. Tundra, same thing happened in all 3 games so far. Tundra out-farming OG. OG lacking in a damage department. Look at him. Soxa finding another one.
Yeah, Taiga, one shot from dead. The Spirit Vessel will take him out. Soxa trying to survive, running back. Has the Guardian Greaves help coming in from 33, as well as the Seeds of Serenity down, but the right clicks in from Misha, and some damage from BZM is all they need to get the kill there onto the Tiny, but it ends up being a trade. They find 9, they'll pull him in with the Vortex, and 9, he won't be able to run.
That was big. BZM uses Remnant, provide him in vision there to get the Electric Vortex.
A big kill to get that Coddle, who has slowed down and farmed behind the Naga Siren now. But Skitter's top of the net, we're 33 right behind him. And we talked about how this seems to be a repeat of the past 2 encounters. And maybe a little bit of punchback coming in from OG this time. As in those first 2 games, we felt that the map was just getting so small for OG, they couldn't get anything out of it. But right now, their heroes can still get kills.
Storm Spirit needs to be active. Like, BZM has been involved in 5 out of 7 kills. Now playing with Taiga. Taiga doesn't have a spell stolen for now. Oh, there's some really good spells to steal in this game. Like, of course, the Black Hole, but the Avalanche is the big one. Even Illuminate.
Yeah, he's gotten his hands on, like, Chakra Magic once or twice, but Skittery's over mid, and they smoked up on 2 heroes. They don't have the damage to really blow him up, but they might find 9 again. Vortex, Illuminate, and it's not going to be enough to save him as BZM gets another kill on a 9.
That's a good
Back-to-back
kill.
deaths.
2 kills in a row, and they also set up some vision. 2 observer ward plates, the one in a triangle, one near the big camp, near the tier 2 tower, so they can start to play a bit more aggressive. Global Silence was used this time around, and you see Yuragi immediately joins. He does have that silence. Orchid is coming up to him.
He saw him. So that's on cooldown. 33 TPing right in front of DM, and this is big for OG if they can get it. They get the kill on 33. They'll look over at Skitter with everybody here. They'll clean him up with the Whirling Death. They also take out Snake King. OG even the game up as they finally get a fight against Tundra that goes their way.
Tundra kind of handling them to them.
TPing right next to DM, and now Roche.
First 9 died, and then the rest of the team just TPs there. They all died, even without a global silence. And now it's Roche time. This is big. This is huge for OG.
His first Aegis going into the hands of OG. As we take a look at the replay, 33 right next to DM, and he dies so quickly. Guardian Greaves or not, it didn't matter. And Skitter's going to fall very fast, too. There is no way to save him. They were all over these heroes. Look
Oh,
at
yeah.
DM.
Yes. I love that. Love to see some emotion coming out from the players. Sorry about that. I hope I wasn't too loud.
I love it. Always get to see some good camera feeds here, and they'll find that obs. So, assuming that was position based on the way that they were able to kill 9, and well, they're looking over mid, and Skitter, Snake King, and Saksa all together. But now, do you want to fight into the Aegis? Because BZM, you said he needed to be active, having an Aegis to bolster his aggression and give him some confidence to go into these fights. I don't know if Tundra really want to be fighting into them.
They have BKB on Keeper of the Light, which is not the most impactful item in terms of a team fight. It's more for just protecting himself. So it's not that, like, Sven gets in with the BKB, so he deals overwhelming amount of damage. So that's going to be a bit of different thing. Yuragi, with that Orchid going into Heart next, when he gets the Heart timing, this is where his illusions are going to be super tanky, and they will definitely look into fights.
Double damage picked up for Skitter. See what he could do with that, as now OG, they have themselves a little bit of a net worth lead, something they weren't able to accomplish in the first 2 matchups against Tundra in these tiebreakers. But it's all coming up good for them so far. They keep it up, and what are they going to do with this Aegis is the real question. I was looking over at 33. He's going for an Octarine core, but doesn't have the BKB yet or anything, so I'm a little worried about this item choice. If he's able to get in there and get anything off, not having the BKB.
He wants to lower the cooldown on his abilities. Guardian Greaves as well. Cast range is good because you're playing against Silencer. So if Silencer doesn't die, you know that he's going to be holding that global until you pop a black hole most of the time. So you need to think about different itemization. We do see like Guardian Greaves into full pipe, and then you start getting a BKB and the blink dagger. So if you catch a Silencer, you can go in. They don't have abilities that go through magic immunity, so other than global silence, so if they can find him, like he will eventually get that BKB on Enigma. It's just a point of time, like when is he gonna get it?
And they're also looking for refresher on Misha. See how quickly he'll get to that. Quick pause from BZM as they say lag. And you've already got the reverse, so Yuragi's working quick on this Heart. It's worrisome, because we've talked about how OG didn't have damage to punch back in the few games before. Do Tundra have enough once his Heart's picked up to reliably kill Yuragi with BZM having the movement? Like,
if they're fighting
tough.
inside the Midnight Pulse, Sunray is now maxed out, so max HP damage, 1 blast from Keeper of the Light. It's going to be tanky, but if he can stay away from those abilities, if his illusions are available to deal damage, it's going to be a tricky one. Like, Tundra lost 6k gold lead in a matter of a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Well, off that Aegis pickup, off the fight over mid, it was a slew of events that went for OG. So reconnect on the DK, they'll unpause, and here we go again. 4 heroes smoked, and we're going to take another look at these esportsbet.io odds, as now it is really favoring OG. Found Saksa, have the Orchid, they'll have the kill, they'll get the kill onto Saksa and look for more. So Snake King trying to run, but there really isn't anywhere for him to go, especially with the Arcane Curse and the last word on him. They've also got 9. BZM doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. The Illuminate hits him. Spirit Vessel, Blink, Avalanche, the BKB's been popped by the Coddle. TP out.
First usage of a BKB, 9-second BKB to get out of the trouble, and yeah, he's thinking about different item build. Was thinking about getting the Hex on this Coddle to control Storm Spirit, but wants to get Aghanim Scepter. We've seen Sumail multiple times so far in the DPC going for that item, and it looked so good. They need someone to hold them in place for others to deal damage. So you'll have Black Hole and you'll have, well, we can call it White Hole. So like just two of those together inside the Midnight Pulse, inside the Shard from Dragon Knight. It's gonna be some serious amount of damage if they can execute.
Song, Misha was being chased. He's acting as bait. Yuragi with the Song. Do they have a follow-up to go for this? They're actually over on the 33, but they've got the Avalanche as well as the Sunray. They have the Silence. It's onto the Tiny, ball ending onto the high. Gravity's been stunned up again. BZM now needs to run.
He's gonna kill the creep.
Bottle.
No
He's
9.
sipping up and trying to get back into the fight as DM. He'll come over with the Chakram as well as the Whirling Death. Timber Chain right on top of 33. He's chasing pretty far. Goes up into the air. Tucker comes over with an Avalanche. That up to the Fade Bolt. They'll get the count of Snake King. Now they'll look over at Skinner. He's trying to run. The Veil, the Chakram, the kill. The ball lightning in from BZM as they continue to extend their lead. But BZM, he'll lose just the Aegis.
Now BZM, he decided to go for a sneaky little play. He saw 9 TPing on that range creep, uses Ball Lightning, kills the creep. I checked the timing on a glyph. It was not available for like 15 seconds. He would definitely glyph it to come into that fight. And now OG, finally, for the first time in these like 3-game series, in these tiebreakers, leading in a game. So pretty big for them.
Now they get that mid-tier 2. They're taking a bigger lead, 3K. You know, it's been BO1s, technically losing 2. They could have lost the BO3, but this could be the big win right here if they just hang on. Dota Plus is going to be 64 to 36.
The Switchblade not allowing him to blink out.
Toss. BZM is going to die here before Saksa goes down. Look over to the side. They've cut themselves DM. Can't let it crumble now, but look at the damage onto the Timber. Rolling Death, Spirit Vessel, right clicks, Midnight Pulse is in, and the Timber Chain doesn't connect. They get the kill onto the Timber Saw as well.
Gotta be careful, you know. This tiny combo is still always gonna be an issue, even if it's coming out from position 4, position 5 against these heroes. Like, he's tanky. He does have Kaya Sanj and Storm Spirit, but try to toy with him way too much.
Now all of a sudden, Tundra are the ones who are across the river and playing pretty forward. The whole time, though, Yuragi is still farming, and he is just about to hit 17,000 net worth. They have not slowed down the Naga Siren since the laning phase. He's going into the BKB and then the Silver.
He's bringing the Shard right now, so that's going to be their way of resetting, having some kind of a heal on top of Guardian Greaves from Timbersaw. Misha, this time around, he mentioned that he's going for Refresher. Eventually, he's going to get it. If this game lasts for another 15 minutes, he will find the farm.
That Refresher is going to be big. You talked about how they want to have that Global Silence for the Black Hole. But right now, Misha may not have a life. So, Avalanche toss over to the creeps. Misha on the run. Meanwhile, Snake King goes down to the BZM. That was over in the top jungle. So this will be a trade.
Saksa using a Force Staff there. Nice little play to get Enigma closer for his spells to be used. Aghanim Scepter done on Coddle.
So they'll have the Will-O-Wisp. And gem purchased by Misha. See who holds that. They've been able to kill these heroes on OG, except for Yuragi, but you get this gem, if you give it right over, that could be a big issue.
It's going to be BZM holding it for now. Next big timing for OG, BKB on Storm Spirit. DM will not have his BKB synced up, but you will also potentially have a BKB on Naga Siren. Yuragi has been farming, and yeah, he's been off the map for a long time. joining these fights whenever he was needed, and now 19,000 net worth on Naga Siren. The second one close to him is 5k gold behind.
Yeah, when you allow somebody to be off the grid and no eyes are on him, you really start to get a lot of gold. So he's picked up quite a bit, and there is nobody in the same realm of net worth at the moment. Avalanche comes in, it's on a BZM. They'll steal the Avalanche, throw it back, landing on a 2, and a Fade Bolt to follow it up. Isha's in with an Arcane Curse. Do they want to take this? It looks like they're starting to group up, knowing that Roche might be soon, but it ends up being a 2-minute delay.
We still haven't seen Phoenix use his Supernova.
No.
Not once. It's a difficult game playing into Silencer, so could be a bit tricky. Just one global silence, one last word on you, and you're getting back. So one of the reasons why Snaking decided to pick up that Yule Scepter. They do have abilities to protect this Egwit if he wants to use it a bit more aggressive, especially now with Dragonite having Manta Style to remove the global silence.
Telekinesis and a kill there on a Snake King.
He dies way too quickly.
See, by the way, Skittery's using Quickening Charm and Titan Sliver, so he'll swap that in, pop the Elder Dragon form, and then get back onto the Titan Sliver.
It's a cute little trick you can do. That you are holding this item as a hostage, so no one else can use it. So you have 2 tier 3 items.
I thought maybe they'd give it to 33, the Quickening Charm, but the value might just be there enough, especially when they get this Ags onto the Dragonite. Saksa hiding in the trees. Avalanche, Ball Lightning, they see him. This is going to be a dead Tiny. It looks as though in OG, they feel confident enough to get these pickoffs. They're just so easy.
They do have Storm Spirit. Also now, Taiga with the Blink Dagger, he can be the one following Storm Spirit in his adventures. Still looking for something. Does have that Arcane Rune.
Searching the trees, and 9. TP in time. And Roche up in 10. So we'll see if we get a big fight over by Roche. Black Hole, Supernova, both available for the side of Tundra, but Song and Global for OG. So some big team fight clashing tactics
We
there.
still haven't seen Tundra use their ultis to full potential. Like, we haven't seen this Black Hole, Supernova combo, now with Will-O-Wisp as well.
It's going to be so hard. Like, if the Supernova's in a decent spot, you've got the Will-O-Wisp down and a Black Hole post-global. I worry
Misha's
about OG's
global
fight.
silence needs to be on point for OG to win these fights. Like, he needs to be able to cancel it once they go in.
So, Elder Dragon form, this time with the Ags. So, having that upgrade to the 4th level. We'll have the Black Dragon. So let's see if they can find anybody, because this would lead to Roche if they could grab a couple. It's been sitting at near the 4K net worth lead mark for OG for some time now, maybe dipping down as close as 2K, but they've had control, and they have been the ones who have been looking and finding some pickoffs.
This Manta Style and Dragonite looks so cool.
How do you like this as the build-up, where it's Manta in the Ags?
That's fine. I guess he wanted to have a Dispel for these abilities, to have something to get out of the trouble with. They didn't join these fights, but I think the build-up's also fine. Now he has that Aghanims, and level 18, this is the timing that you were looking for. Another smoke from OG. BKB on Timbersaw, BKB done on Naga Siren and Storm Spirit. So 3 9-second BKBs.
9's TP just in time, 33. He's still hiding here in the trees. He's got the rest of the team kind of nearby. He might be waiting to see if a fight breaks out and pinch from the back. Are coming pretty close to each other. Taiga, he's got a blink, so he's looking for the telekinesis. He finds it onto the Tiny. Now they're going to Ball Lightning in. They've got the silence onto Saksa. He's not going to survive this, or will he? Oh, he finally drops to Yuragi, but there's the song. Will-O-Wisp making this a little bit difficult for Yuragi. They also use the Supernova. Misha on the run. Can they continue to chase for it?
Yuragi is still full HP, does have BKB if necessary, does not want to pop it just to get rid of that.
Skitter finds the stun on a Taiga, popping that Manta. BZM trying to help out, but it looks like they're going to lose this Rubik. So Taiga falls, they've got the Vortex, they're going to buy back here on the Tiny, they'll go to the BKB from Yuragi, he doesn't have a song to work with, and now they've got the Global Silence coming out, but they still have a Black Hole available on the side of Tundra. So they'll look over at Yuragi, as Misha, he's going to die here to the Illuminate from 9. Bob back on this Rubik. Icarus dive over. Saksa finding the avalanche. It's on Yuragi. They've got the telekinesis. They have the silence from the Orchid. Yuragi still running up out of the high ground. And now these heroes on the side of Tundra, how far do they want to go in? Skitter doesn't have the Elder Dragon form for that much longer. And these heroes are all alive from OG once again.
3 buybacks, 2 on the OG, only supports, and same goes for Tundra. Only 1. Not committing there. You've seen 33. He's been holding on for a very long time. This Sunray and the Illuminate keeping them full HP pretty much all the time throughout this whole fight.
So how can they stop them from taking Roche? They do have Black Hole, and they bought back on Misha, which is going to slow down his refresher, but he already used the Global Silence.
Hey, it's time to go for Tundra. They don't have the egg, but they do have a Black Hole, as you said.
Will-O-Wisp, that pulls DM for a moment in the Roche pit a bit, so that'll make OG evacuate. They have Supernova in 25 seconds. They've got the Elder Dragon form back up for Skitter. Global down for 30 more. But they do have Song again. They'll blink, they'll Dragon Tail. They'll look over at Yuragi. Yuragi going to be hit with a Dagon. He'll go and throw an Ensnare onto Skitter. Saksa comes in with an avalanche toss, but it's not going to do anything for the side of Tundra just yet. They are just back and forth looking for a big opening here for 33. It's tough. He doesn't have a blink to get in. He has to walk in and throw in a Black Hole.
Global Silence is going to be back up in 10 seconds. So another one to, wait. You still need to wait it out. Like, his positioning has been good. He only died once in the game so far, which is pretty impressive as the Enigma, considering everything they have. Might still decide to pick up a Blink Dagger after all. He does have Ultimate Orb, was thinking about getting the Hex. Like, even 9 was thinking about Hex, but decided to go for Dagon instead. Like, against the Illusions from Naga Siren and have a bit more burst damage.
Midnight Pulse down on the ground. Taiga coming over with the telekinesis, but the Will-O-Wisp is going to drag 3. They've got the Avalanche as well as the toss. They're going to throw back Taiga, who popped back in the last fight, so he's going to be dead for 75 seconds. Black Hole, it's on a Roche with the Song, but the Aegis is going to be picked up by BCM. Oh, Will-O-Wisp still pulling them in. After the Song is up, do they want to fight this? The Song lasts long enough for the TP out for the Naga Siren. They'll look for the rest. They're trying to find DM, but with a Timber Chain, he is far enough away where he should be safe. So for a second, it looked like the Black Hole was going to be enough, but Song over from the side stops it. Allows them to get the Aegis.
Power of Naga Siren fighting near the Roche pit, though.
Ooh,
He's out of
DM.
mana. This is also Gem.
Solar Bind, BKB, trying to run. To get the gem out of his hands like you said, Lacoste, but they just don't have the control once this BKB is popped.
Still, they're going to go for the high ground, reducing the mana on Eidolons. Like, we've seen the Midnight Pulse as well combo with Ignis Fatus, with Will-O-Wisp. It's super powerful. Like, they just pulled them in this Black Hole to try to stop them from picking up the Aegis. It was a good timing from 33, but the instant Global Silence coming out, and also the sleep that you said, so a bit difficult game for Enigma.
Yeah, he's got to find the proper opening, and that's what's, it's hesitation, but it's also patience from 33. It's like he's trying to find the proper key for a door that is heavily guarded.
Yeah. I would not love to play supports in this game on either sides, mostly on OG, because you are Rubik and Silencer. Rubik doesn't have like any defensive items. Does have this Ogre Seal Totem, which is nice, but playing into Dragonite Illusions, it's very difficult. Like, they're slowing you down. It's level 20, so having extra attack range as well from it. Going into Octarine Core next. This is the build that we did mention, and it's so difficult. Like, just providing vision and allowing people to go for the right targets in a team fight.
So now they've got the Ags on Storm. So you've got Black Hole, White Hole, Blue Hole.
It's the budget Black Hole, yeah. Holding that Aegis for 3 minutes. They don't have, like, the best combo. Maybe if they can steal, something with Taiga, just like Avalanche is going to be fine if he can't get the hands on Midnight Pulse or the Black Hole. So that big pull into maybe Timber Chain Chakram should deal a lot of damage.
Doesn't feel so budget when you think about it. Black Hole's only a 4-second duration, and with the extra 0.4 electric vortex,
It's much easier to execute as well, especially in a game like this.
kind of dangerous. Loud sounds of the Elder Dragon form of the Manto Illusions. So, still holding on to the Quickening Charm. Min-maxing with a Penta-Edge Sword now. And they picked up the Hex on 33, and they'll be going into a BKB next.
Under attack.
As that Silver Edge was finished for Yuragi eventually, and they have a Lotus Orb now on Saksa.
33 has 3 items, pretty much, but has almost 20,000 net worth. These are very expensive items that he has. The Guardian Greaves, Octarine, and Sight.
Is under attack.
Yeah. Meanwhile, just has a casual shard with him too. One of these things not like the other. Dagon level 449. Numbers there. See how much damage he can output with that, and if they can get any of these kills, it feels like sometimes the damage is a little bit lacking from Tundra. And we took a look at the graph. It is edging back towards 50-50. It was 73-27, something along those lines a little while ago. But even at 20 kills, heading into the 40th minute.
Make Dagon 5 great again. This item, you know, needs some loving, and we don't see it. It's decent stats, but something's lacking. Maybe the cost of it, the cost of the recipe, but it's a very cool item.
And we'll see how much it can do in this game. But do you think it's the right call, Dagon 5? So many other items now.
There are. Like, you could go for Octarine Core. He could have gone for Hex. He was thinking about Hex, but since 33 was going for one, I think having one Hex is fine. They just need a bit of an extra damage, because you see, this Dragonite, he's very annoying, but when it comes down to dealing damage to Timbersaw and Naga, they do struggle. So he will need to get some kind of a damage item as his next.
And they post to clean up the creeps, ball ending, looking over, and they're going to try and find 33. They've got the Vortex, get her over to the side. They have the Hex, it's on a DM. They'll toss him up into the air. The Willis is down with the Solar Bind. It's through onto the Storm Spear with the BKB being popped by DM. He's kind of by himself. Yuragi over to the side. The double Chakram from DM, but doesn't land on anybody. They've got 5 seconds left on the Aegis. So BZM will be back up to full health, full mana. And once that expires, maybe OG a little bit more hesitant on the fights they want to take.
We've seen a couple of times two teams just looking at each other. No one wants to
Is under attack.
heavily commit, and now Octarine plus that Quickening Charm that he's been holding on Dragonite, so almost permanent dragon form for him. Like, it has 10 seconds downtime.
That's really nothing, yeah. So, Elder Dragon form up in 5. 70.9 second cooldown with the Quickening Charm. There it is. And can they fight? Can they find anything? They're constantly looking to see if they can get someone. Saksa! Right by Yuragi, who's going to show himself going to the BKB, and he might just need to leave. But instead, Mirror Image running back, Guardian Greaves, so some heal.
They force a BKB, but that's about it.
Can they even kill this Naga? And the game has been so close with Naga surviving for a long time. Has so much net worth at 31,000. The closest here for the side of Tundra is just 22,000. Yuragi, since the laning phase, has just been in Farm City. Going for a Hex, also trying to finish off that Bloodthorn, and there it is.
This Naga Siren is pretty much 6-slotted. He can get the Aghanim Scepter, of course. Switch the Power Treads. This Witchbane haven't been able to dispel things. Mostly this Solar Bind, I think that's the big one. And also it deals a ton of damage, especially against heroes who have big mana pools, like Keeper of the Light and Enigma.
Taiga going into the BKB. So Blink, BKB, he's got an Ogre Seal Totem. So that'll help him get away from these fights.
If he steals a Black Hole, then he becomes the Enigma himself.
Yeah, and one that doesn't have to worry about global silence, and with the BKB really doesn't have to worry about anything if he's able to steal it. So OG, They are just over the river and potentially looking to push and force back Tundra. Roche maybe up in 30 seconds. DM, he's going to TP back to the base, though. Glyph, this tier 3 not looking long for this world.
Slow siege. This annoying Dragonite with Manta style. Like even Saxablix on the high ground to get a couple of tree volleys up there. 3 hits, and Yuragi figuring out. Like he needs to do the same thing. He needs to be able to cut the waves now sitting in the bottom lane.
What can they do? I think mid is going to get pushed in with these illusions and start to hit away at the tower. Meanwhile, they've got a big creep wave bottom, and illusions doing the same there. Avalanche toss. Oh, BCM! Gone. That's not as planned.
That was quick. That's some quick reaction there from Tundra. He tried to go for sneaky play, cut the creep wave, but it didn't happen. Both bottom is pushed in. Tier 3 tower almost dead, but
yeah.
Tundra's doing the same thing on top.
They also had mid pushing in. That's a big issue too. That you're losing multiple parts of your base.
They need a creep wave though.
Yeah, they do. This is another creep wave coming in, so they've got a creep wave just in time. As the tower bottom, it has 17 health.
Something about Dragonite with Manta style is satisfying to watch. I don't maybe I'm just one of those enjoyers that love to see the world burn.
No, I agree with that.
So Roshan is up. It's also Aghanim Scepter. So for Tundra, who could pick it up? Like maybe if you want to give it to Tiny, we've seen Kataomi scaling very hard with his position for Tiny, especially if he can get it for free.
Is Tree Volley worth it though with just Lotus Orb and Force Staff?
Like you get a damage item. Like eventually you farm Daedalus.
Would you rather?
They could give it to Snake.
I was thinking 33 as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind. I thought he has it for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind if Snake King, because he's protected, right? He may be all right picking up this axe. And the fact that this is going down uncontested is a bit scary if you're OG. The net worth's going to turn in favor of Tundra with the Axe Blessing pickup. 33, he's looking to break any smokes or vision that's coming over from OG, but it's just not in time. So they will pick up these items. And Ags, it's on this Phoenix, and now they've got the Willis down, they've got the sweep for a
Good
second,
force
Skitter coming
step.
over, and now they've got the 4-step back with the Midnight Pulse, but the ball lightning as well as the Vortex is going to be on 2 of these heroes. 33 trying to run away, and he gets out. BKB from DM, Chakram, 2 of them, thrown at 33, but he still survives. They'll go to the song. They've got a Hex, it's on a Taiga, and Icarus dive, finding the Rubik, Malefice, they've got these
BKB.
Eidolons, BKB, TP, ooh, Black Hole to stop it. He knew he was going to be stunned up again, but he uses the Black Hole and goes for a Rubik.
Yes, just steals steals the Black 4 for half a second, just that he shows that he can do it, but doesn't get anything out of it. I don't mind this Black Hole. Like 33 has not used the Black Hole in a very long time. It was the second Roche when he tried to go for it, but let's see who's holding that Aghanim Scepter for now. It's Phoenix,
Yeah.
but seems like he wants to give it to 33.
There it is. Giving it to him with Black Hole not available, so I don't know if he's going to activate it immediately. Yeah, he
Well, you try to go
gave it
for
to the Tiny.
this Rat Dota with the Naga Siren and the illusions, but the Dragonite, he's even more annoying. Like he splits one on the left, one on the right. BZM disconnecting.
So lag again. They gave it to the Tiny, like you said, and now he just needs. He's building Aeon Disc. I feel like that build might change.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna change. Like he's gonna start building into most likely just the Crystalist to have some damage that deals well with the Naga Siren and her illusions. And Tundra off to a high ground. I don't know how you stop. Like they need to heavily invest.
But now you've got Aegis on DK. Like investing to get the kill on a Skitter, not once but twice, for someone so tanky is going to be so difficult. It's worrying.
There's Sunray behind him. There's a Keeper of the Light charging the Illuminate. So there's always going to be some kind of a heal coming out. He doesn't even have a BKB in this game, so which is pretty impressive. I love this build.
May not have been able to kill Yuragi since the laning phase, but let's see if that even matters. The Global Silence, they've got the Will-Wisp coming through. Now, toss up
Double
in the air.
force.
Will-Wisp pulls them in. The Chakram, both of them onto the Tiny, but they still don't get the kill. They've got the Guardian Greaves being popped to kill him up. The Ball Lightning going in, but EZM, he's not going to find what he was looking for. He ends up TPing back to the base. Yuragi now working with the Song, with the Blink, the Dragon Tail. Can they get a kill here on Yuragi? Finally, but he pops the BKB. He's got Song. He'll throw the Hex. It's on the Dragon Knight. He'll run away. Still, nobody dying on either side. 3 minutes on this Aegis still.
Also, Keeper of the Light lowering the cooldown on Dragon Knight abilities. Fireball and mostly stun. Like, you almost have a... Like, stun duration is 3 seconds, 10-second cooldown. So, like, 1 second downtime pretty much between it if he times it correctly.
He didn't end up losing that tier 3 tower, by the way. It's still sitting there with 17 health bottom. Not able to push that in successfully while they were splitting a little bit. Ball Lightning and, ooh, Hex landing. Skitter in on a BZM. They've got the Lewis down. It's on Yuragi on the back lines. They're trying to get the control on a BZM. Soxa throws out an avalanche. Finds Yuragi. Can they get the damage and the kill onto the Nagasara? No, not yet. Gets him Viz. Backs off.
And now off to the range barracks. This is unhealable damage, so we'll drop down. They can do the same thing bottom or just keep poking. Tiny.
Ooh, Supernova.
They couldn't execute. Not quick enough. DM ups the BKB. Doesn't get caught by neither Hex nor a stun from Dragon Knight.
Yuragi's still sitting there in the front line. Dag in. Blinding Light. They've got the Hex. It's on to Skitter, but again, he's got that Aegis to work with for another minute and a half. Going into the mirror image with the BKBB pop by Taiga. The Midnight Pulse is down. They've got the Will-Wisp. They'll have the Hex. They have the control. It's on to Yuragi. Can they get into the base, though, to get this kill? They're trying to clean up the Will-Wisp. Skitter's going to blink right on top of him with that overwhelming blink. They've got the break. It's onto the Dragon Knight still. That Lotus Orb is going to reflect the ensnare. Vortex onto 2 of these heroes. It's onto 33 as well. Snake King getting low. He's going to be killed off by Taiga immediately. They get the kill on the DM. The lookovers. They've got the token. It's onto the Enigma. 33 up in the air. There's a gem on the deck. Meanwhile, they finally took out that bottom tier 3, and it looks like these racks are in trouble for the side of Tundra. They need to be careful about how much they
does
fight.
have a blink.
Taiga blinking, avoiding that avalanche, and the rest of the team is starting to follow this one up. They're coming over from the side of OG. The bottom racks looking like they might break here for the side of Tundra if they're not too careful on this fight. So, Creeps still pushing in. The Will-Wisp is going to be on to 2. DM,
They're going to lose the barracks bottom.
From Yuragi. They've got the sleep out of these heroes once again. Soxa trying to leave with the Lotus Orb. They've got the Hex. It's going to be on a DM, but now they go to the Song from Yuragi. So, they've got a Fireball down. They're looking over at 9. They've got the Chakram right on top of him. When he wakes up from this slumber, Ball landing over with the BKB pop by 9. They'll go over 33 with the BKB of his own.
33.
He's trying to throw a black hole, but he doesn't really find the opportunity to do so. Taiga over to the side. He doesn't want to give it up. The ball landing's going to come over. They're trying to get the kill here. They'll find DM right on top of 33. They get the kill of the Enigma, but the damage coming in for Taiga. They'll get the Rubik. Can they? Oh, the Ogre Seal Totem on the right on top of him. Soxa gets the kill on a Rubik. They find themselves 9. They've got the dagger, but it's not going to be enough damage. Skinner comes in with the Fireball. They've got themselves the Global Silence, and is that going to keep Yuragi alive? DM comes in.
Everyone's
Double
so
Chakram.
low.
They've got the Hex. It's onto the DK. He's still in that Elder Dragon form. Ball lighting over to the Tiny. They've got the Avalanche. It hits on
Another
Yuragi
Hex.
as well as BZM. They've got the stuns coming through to Yuragi. They get the kill to BZM.
But Skeeter's coming
down
in.
goes Yuragi. Misha under the Fireball. He's going to fall too. 4 heroes down on the side of OG as DM finally TP's out. But this is not a big fight for OG like they needed.
Man, this is a 2-minute fight right there. What the hell is happening? Dragon Knight, like, he's untouched. They're not touching Skeeter in the fight. Look at this damage. 11, almost 12,000 damage.
Almost
coming
more
out
than
from him.
OG.
Almost, yeah, pretty much. This overwhelming blink, level 25, also having AoE Dragon Tail during the Elden Dragon form. I think this was, like, if we're going to see the whole replay for, for a full 2 minutes, Yuragi found a really good opening here on 33. Manages to bring him down and forcing a BKB. Global Silence is available, so he's not getting that black hole off. And you see Skitter, like, these Dragon Knights are causing so many issues. And I think that this is what's going to happen. Like, that AoE stun, once they clump up a bit more to the eastern side of the map. And let's check it. This is it.
They get the kill on a 9.
Yeah, that's it. That's
there
it.
it is.
Inside a Fireball as well. Because you have permanent, almost permanent Dragon form, which means that you have permanent AoE stun.
He's also never getting low. Look at his health the entire time. They need to clean up these creeps bottom. They lost that set of racks. DM, he just TP'd out when that exchange happened, and they lost the tier 4 too. I'm seeing opportunity at base race. It's looking possible.
I could see it happening, but this Dragon Knight has been a menace.
I love that word.
He can up, like he has 5,000 gold. If he invests into something like AC or just like straight up more damage, something like a Daedalus, I'm really worried. He's been okay. BKB, like 6th item BKB.
He's now, by the way, only 4,000 gold behind Yuragi. Yuragi had an 11k split on net worth.
It's so much slow. This overwhelming blink, like one of my this and Wind Waker 2 like craziest item in Dota is just you don't see him in action as much because there's always something better to prioritize. But getting in, slowing down Naga Siren Illusions is pretty huge.
Look at the Dota Plus.
From
Much exact.
63 for OG to 73 for Tundra.
Yeah, and I think these exact Dota Plus probabilities were there even earlier from before that last check. So, kind of completely turning a 180. Ball lightning all the way through. Cleaning up some creeps, but TP on cooldown.
Refresher is down on Silencer. Misha invested all of his gold, so that means that
Ooh, DM.
Black Hole most likely is not going to get off in a fight. Will-O-Wisp will not
catch
hold
him.
him. Next Roche could spawn relatively
10
soon.
seconds. BKB on a courier. BZM, he's not going to get any vision of it, but he's still going to be here to cut the creep wave again. Level 26.
No buyback on
He's got
Skitter.
that shard.
He invested everything. This is Aghanim Scepter upgrade. We'll eat it, and we'll have a BKB. 4,000 HP, almost 4.5k.
Refresher for BZM too. Double Vortex Blue Hole. The Ags. Roche is going to be 2 minutes and 20 seconds away. That is, I almost want to say
OG doesn't know
side.
about it. Yeah, OG like needs to get out of the base and scout things out. Because if it's an early spawn, giving them another one could be a bit difficult to deal with. Skeeter, how close he is? He needs 1.5k gold for buyback.
Getting it kind of quick. They're coming over.
Both position 5s do have refreshers, so refresher Phoenix.
Oh, right.
That's
on
the Sunray.
Sunray and the Overseal Totem. He gets away. So Snake King uses that Supernova, but like you said, he's got a refresher. So he'll have it again. If need be. Elder Dragon form. Oh, look at that cute dragon.
Oh, look at him die.
That's...
Get sapped.
That's not great. That was some National Geographic stuff right there. As, well, now they're going to go after Yuragi. They've got the Will-O-Wisp, they have the control, they've got the Dragon Tails, and they're going to get another kill on Yuragi just like that. Nobody's here. BZM going in with the DM. Timber Saw, they'll take out 33, so the Enigma's gone, has buyback, so does Yuragi, but the BKB BZM's going to TP out of this one. Overwhelming blink towards
Doesn't catch him.
DM. Force staff forward, Dragon Tail lands onto the Timber Saw. Can he get out of this one? Avalanche to follow it up. The Sunlock is there. They've got the Dagger. Do they have the control with the toss up into the air? They do. They'll take out
He
DM.
bought back in the previous fight, so he's going to be gone for 2 minutes. Buyback from Naga. Tundra slowly opening things up. 20k gold lead, but this is the entrance to, like, one more fight is all it takes for them to win the game. And you see this Dragon Knight, like, being just super annoying. Does have a buyback available.
Dyer's middle barracks.
75 gold.
Yeah, he's there. Like,
Top of the net worth. He is now more farmed than Yuragi.
I love the way this dragon looks, especially when he puts Mjolnir on him. Look, it looks like he's
Electrified.
he's the smog.
We'll see it when he pops the armor again.
Oh, Arcane Rune as well, lowering the cooldown on everything. Look at this, 15-second Manta style.
Oh, okay. Balance in all things.
55 on Elden Dragon form.
Roche up. That is Ag's Blessing. That is Refresher Shard. That's everything on this fourth Roche.
Under attack.
So Arcane Blink being built here for BZM. He's got a lot of gold to work with, but does he want to keep a buyback just in case his fights don't go well? Got 50 seconds still until DM is back. Meanwhile, Roche, it's up, and it is being taken.
We're also getting closer to tier 5 items. 3 minutes away. Give that Dragonite Giant's Ring.
Bigger. We can make it bigger.
Tiny can also be, like, Tiny's the funny one. Seems like OG's not going to contest this at all.
Back-to-back Roche is going for Tundra, and it brings a lot of wealth. Ag's Blessing, Cheese, Refresher Shard, Snake King, he's gonna pop that Ag's Blessing on himself. So now he'll have that upgraded Supernova. Could be griefing.
Could be. But also extra attacks to destroy the egg.
They haven't been able to kill the egg, it seems like. He's also using it very
It's the right way to use it. Like, it's more about using it to cancel the fight, maybe set things up for a black hole. We still haven't seen it because, again, you're playing into Silencer, now playing into Silencer with the Refresher.
So 2 minutes. That's 120 seconds until we'll see tier 5 items. When we get to that point, so with BZM killing these creep waves with the Ball Lightning, he's got that shard upgrade on the Overload. They found themselves this Rubik, and, well, they are going to lose. Tyke, he's got buyback. But it's now a 30,000 net worth lead for Tundra. An 87% chance on the win probability.
And look at that graph. So far, a minute and a half away from the big items. This Dragonite, he wants to hit some buildings.
Bottom set of racks look like they could be juicy here for Tundra.
Also, Keeper of the Light hitting level 25. Blinding Light stun. So it's an AoE stun, not a long duration stun, but it's also a setup. It's great to have against Naga Siren and the Illusions. This is the only lane that they need to kill. BZM's career died. Not gonna have it for 3.5 minutes.
That's the Mystic Staff for the Arcane Blink. And an Illusion working on this tower, throwing down a Fireball as well. Yuragi, who felt so unkillable previously, has died in back-to-back fights, so the Naga Siren just not being what it felt like for the first 40 minutes of this game, and that's unkillable.
Speaking of unkillable, this Dragonite, he's inside and outside of the base at the same time.
Schrodinger's Dragonite.
Look at that range, level 28 DK.
Stealing the Breathe Fire, Telekinesis, and now with that with the Mjolnir Armor. They've got the Hex, Yuragi going in with the BKB, the Ball Lightning, they've got themselves the Vortex, it's going to be on a 2, can they get the control to Skitter? It's going to be rough. He also has himself the Aegis, so even if they get this first kill, how do they follow it up with another one? They get the Aegis out of his hands, Sock's in some trouble, the Avalanche toss, they get the cone to BZM, he does have buyback, the Song not in time, so Yuragi, just the Song being a little bit too late
black
and
hole
not
on
getting
Timber.
them up. They've got the Black Hole, it's on a DM, they'll lose DM, they have buyback, but it just... It's going to be rough to hold.
They need to use the buybacks.
Yeah, buybacks come out by both these heroes. They'll look to get the kill
Supernova
on
to save
TM.
him.
He got the save with the Supernova. Now they'll go over to Yuragi. The Sunray burning him away. He's got a Hex on him, and he's dead.
That's
2
game.
minutes,
He has no buy.
No buyback. Icarus dive over. The Andis is going to be popped. They'll go to the overwhelming blink. They'll get the kill on the Taiga. They finish off another one. As it's 4 heroes that have died, but 3 of these buybacks have been used by OG. They do not have Naga Siren. They're going to have themselves Mega Creeps. Vortex on to 2, 33. He's going to have some help here. They've got the Avalanche as well as the toss. BM in trouble. BCM, he cannot get out and will fall to 33. They'll also find Taiga. They'll get another kill on the Rubik, and they'll call GG. It is the same as it ever was. Tundra get the victory in this first tiebreaker and take it over OG. We're just rolling the simulation.
No way this is happening one more time. How many people are gonna queue up a Dota game right now, play Dragonite on the safe lane, and go for the same build, ruin the pub games for their own teammates? It's like he was wild. This is some wild Dragonite performance, unkillable. Tundra did a very good job also protecting him with the Lotus Sword, with the double Force Staff. Like even in the end, you've seen they try to go for Tiny. There's a Supernova coming out to save him. So much sustain. At one point, like OG was ahead, but they became unkillable on Tundra. There's way too much healing, like also the percentage-based damage, this like Midnight Pulse as well, plus the Sunray and Will-O-Wisp. Naga Siren tries to get in with the illusions. It's just like doesn't happen. Like those illusions get blasted.
Yeah, it's just, it felt like for a long time, Naga was the endgame boss, but little did we know, it was just the mini-boss in the dungeon because there was another boss approaching.
This is the main character in anime for a reason.
Yeah, they picked a good main character because this hero does not die. And with that, Tundra take game number 1. Let's hear how the third time around the panel breaks this one down.
They could just say the same
yeah,
thing.
Just get the same or the breakdown together. Take it away. Let's hear it again.
You know what? I would love to say the same things as the last 2 times, but this time round, OG put up an insane fight. Every other time we've seen this matchup play out, it very much felt like the Tundra show. They always had the better draft, they had the better lanes, and they utilized that to their advantage. But this time round, OG, maybe a little bit the same in the earlier. I mean, the fights were so, like, chaotic is the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, but it's such a long game. If you start from the beginning, maybe the two of us, we were a little bit phased by the Timbersaw pickup. We thought, okay, this is it. They have 2 strength cores, they have Phoenix on that safe lane. They're going to be crushed in the laning stage itself.
But all roads lead back to the Tundra win, baby!
Let's go!
Tiebreakers!
Well, we're going to get
It
there. We're
never
going to get there, you know? Yeah, we thought the Lena ban was going to be enough for OG to take it. Clearly not. There was some stuff in the later part when it came to team fights. Tiger, though, I have to say, was so influential in some of these fights with these buybacks and living on a sliver of health.
Oh hell yeah! There was one fight around 33 minutes where his buyback saved
Save Naga.
yeah,
With the
Uragi's
lift.
life because he got that lift on that tiny when he was about to get tossed back into the black hole. That was pretty exciting. I really thought that would be like a big moment, but it
Like, you had this outstanding performance from Tiger, like clutch moments like that, and then you have a 44-minute mark where BZM sort of leaves the base and he dies with no buyback. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
what was it? The Hex and the stun from DK,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like
Yeah.
he dies on that top lane. Yeah, some mistakes have been made by OG, but overall, you feel that this Naga is the ultimate late carry, but she truly isn't. In a game such as this one, like the Dragonite actually scales better. I love the itemization as well from him, going Midas into a Blink Dagger, then getting Octarine Core constantly with the Manta, obviously. He was a bigger Naga than the Naga herself.
yeah, there was like there was one fight where I kind of saw them just 1v1ing, and like the slow from the right clicks of the DK just meant that Naga could barely move. And then you purge it with your Q, with your Manta, it doesn't matter. It just gets reapplied instantly. It was very, very hard for Uragi to maneuver around these fights.
oh, this moment here, it actually filled me a little bit with rage for DM. Just being perma-stunned like this, there is just nothing you can do once you get caught. It is just so hard in the later part of these fights with Tundra being able to just shut you down and lock you down like that. But DM also had a really rough early part of this game. We didn't actually talk about too much. We want to talk about these late games fights.
Yeah, the laning stage itself didn't go that great for them. Like I believe he got the first blood on the Phoenix. There was a -2 happening there, but the problem that he faced very early on is 9 on the Kotl. Like 9 on the Kotl, he got that vessel very early on, just shut down the Timber completely. He wasn't really able to be that frontliner, the dominator that's supposed to set things up for OG. Instead, he was the one hunted down. Like a Timber that's hunted down that early on never feels great.
It also went deeper than that. Like in the laning itself, basically I thought the Rubik would lane with him, but it was the Silencer instead. So what Tundra did in their safe lane is that they used the Dragonite stun to basically contest everything. And they also dual denied a lot. So they would just stun the Timber, deny like 2 creeps off the back of that. Silencer can't secure these creeps for the Timber. And as a result, they lost the CS battle really hard. That's why DM was like level 5 when DK was level 6. It's why he was 1k net worth down on the DK. They just struggled to contest the CS, and because of the Silencer being his lane partner and Timbersaw being relatively weak pre-level 6, it meant that they didn't have the damage to bully Skitter out of lane either. So on Dragonite, he just had a pretty free lane, and DM suffered as a result.
It was very unfortunate with the laning phase in the early. OG were then able to claw back some amount of a lead for themselves. There were a lot of chaotic fights, but ultimately Tundra ended up taking that win. MVP. You know what? I want MVP. This time it is open from either team.
From anyone?
Yeah, anyone. I know Tundra won. Most likely you're going to pick someone on that side.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if someone really stood out on OG, you could pick them.
Nah, no one's
No,
stood out.
okay, alright.
No, they
We're still
didn't.
gonna go with Tundra.
I'm just, I'm trying to spice it up. This is the 3rd time around for tiebreakers. You got to throw something new in there every now and then. All right.
I feel like perhaps I'd give it to Skitter. The Dragon did a lot. Like the Manta, the Aghanim is just flying everywhere. Dragon's giving vision. Also, Dragon's just carrying this game. The itemization was perfect. You don't necessarily see a lot of Dragonites actually carry the game as hard as he did.
Okay.
You could go for some supports here and there too. Like any honorable mentions?
Do you agree, first of all, with the Skitter MVP?
I was leaning towards Skitter. I always hate giving it to Cause, but I do think he was really good, and it was just really difficult for them to deal with Skitter at all points of the game. So I would agree with that. I do think though that on the side of the more utility, I think Enigma and 33 and Saxa together, they cause a lot of problems for BZM. Like I think he felt that pressure to make a lot of moves this game, and you saw him often kind of trying to commit in just to get stunned up pretty much instantly and die. Like, and this Hex as well, the Hex timing on Enigma was impossible. I think BZM died without buyback on that top push just by zipping in and getting caught off guard by it. So really well played from them for every single time they managed to catch Storm.
OG, you're going to have a little bit of time to reset with this one. It's
Once
the question I've asked you guys twice, but how do they prepare for Entity off the back of a loss from Tundra?
I don't
Like how do you reset? You know, there has to be some bit in you that's just like, when does it end? When does it stop? What do we have to do differently? Like, OG are winning up against up against Entity the last 2 times they faced off, but how do you keep that? How do you force it to potentially go again? Because you don't want to not go to the major if you're OG.
Yeah, don't do anything different. Just continue doing
Exactly.
what you did the last 18 times.
Okay.
Nah, just accept it. It's just gonna keep going.
It's scripted.
It's scripted for sure.
I know you like to make it look like we don't know what's gonna happen, but it's
Yeah.
scripted. The
Yeah.
chat knows it. We know
Tell me
it.
all the drafts for the next 2 games then.
I don't want to do that because that would ruin. What's the point? It's like me spoiling the end of a movie.
God, she's so good. She's
Yeah.
so good. She's so good. It is going to be Tundra up against Entity. The first game here, it went 60 minutes in this 3rd round of our 3-way best-of-1 tiebreakers. We're going to have Tundra and Entity up after this break.
Timber no buy. Make sure Timber dies.
One jump here, one jump here.
Looking for timber. First of
Just buy.
Welcome back. We're jumping into our second game of these best of one tiebreakers. It's going to be Tundra up against Entity. Our first game, it was 60 minutes. It was creeps taking racks. It was perma-stuns. There were some good team fights, chaotic team fights actually. That's the way that I would describe it. So what can we expect for our second game?
We're never going to leave the studio. The players are never going to leave the lobby. We're going to be here forever. And honestly, we're going to have 2 teams from EU just not attend the major. We're going to have. So. They're going to continue playing it out. Meanwhile, in Lima, they're like fighting for some points and shit, and we just got 2
still here.
Something actually
teams,
valuable.
Yeah.
We're all
Exactly.
just locked here.
Oh, great! No, I'm living for this, and yeah, it's just scripted. What can you do?
I mean, what can you do?
Might as well just
Actually, I
leave.
was going to say, that was going to be my question to you guys. What can Tundra do here to finally not lose against Entity?
I think the last. So
You
like,
both felt
no,
so
like,
defeated.
so
It's just scripted. I don't know what to say now.
the thing
We got
is,
answers.
when they were second pick last time, I think they got really outpicked. And
When
I think,
Tundra were
yeah,
second pick, sorry, yeah.
just now they were first pick, and I think they came in with a good idea. Same on the very first game of the first tiebreaker, they first picked Lina. They also had a nice idea.
Yep.
So I want them to swap up the way that they do pick from second pick.
Sure.
Which, if my eyes are correct, an Entity decided to have first pick.
Whoa, that's good
Yes.
for Entity.
And they're-
Entity do have first pick.
Yeah, they themselves are better on first pick, so I think putting Tundra on second pick is good for them. But with that said, Tundra could have chosen pick, and they were like, we just want Dire.
I think that's better for Tundra though, because I don't think Tundra right now in draft is too excited by either prospect. Because if they're first pick, are they really going to want to play Lina? I don't think their Lina is that strong compared to other teams. I think Entity understands how to beat their Lina nicely with the tiny Enigma. And I'm pretty sure Entity have other options down the line to also deal with the Lina. So I think Tundra might even have to waste a ban on themselves if they were first pick. Again, I don't think they would be picking Lina again after how shaky it's been. It's been very hit or miss.
I feel like his items weren't perfect, but I feel like that's the game that should have broken the tiebreaker, where they had Lina.
Yeah,
The
and that's why I don't
68
think they're going to go
You
back
mean the
for
very first iteration
Yes.
of tiebreakers?
Yeah.
is when
I
it
still
should
think that their best chances are from first pick. That's just my opinion. But you know, they had time to think about it.
But
Yeah.
So they'll do.
again from Tundra. Banning out, so obviously Entity can't
Yeah.
first pick.
Do you think a Brood?
I still think this
Yeah.
Trian has got to go against Entity. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again today. I think you play against one of the other things. Have we seen Entity play Lina lately?
You're gonna say, okay, so you do what, like Lina brood bands? No, sorry, Lina tree bands, and you give away the
I feel
brood?
like maybe you just do Tree and Brood. Play
Tree and
against
Brood.
Lina. Have they played Lina lately? On Entity? Or is it
Entity.
always banned? I guess it might be, but
It's just
still.
always banned against them. As I scroll through, every single
No.
team has always banned it. Entity's played it once
I was
and
going
they
to say,
lost.
Watson has gotten it.
Yeah,
I feel like,
to be fair,
fuck it. Leave
yeah,
the Lina.
why not? Yeah, I mean,
At this
honestly,
point, man, like,
Enigma's so
stop
prevalent.
making me
Just
come
go
in
for
again, play against the Lina and beat it. You know, I don't give a damn. Just take out this Katomi tree. I'm sick of seeing it. Every game, he has double roots. He's invis. He slaps you from the trees.
All right, question is though, why
What?
can OG beat the Entity tree and force the tiebreakers to reset, but Tundra can't beat the tree?
Because they're stupid.
They're stupid.
Listen,
Okay.
there is no other explanation.
Stupid
They're just
tiebreakers.
dumb.
Yeah.
Oh my
TI
gosh.
winners. You're just stupid.
Just stupid. I love how in the first
No, I
game
mean-
we were like raging over the Lina if it was gonna get banned, and now here's Kezu having his
No,
like fit
so-
over
Some aneurysm over a
yeah,
tree.
over a tree.
I think the problem for Tundra is that they are this team that really want to slowly play the map. They don't just like break open the map. They do it slowly, and I think that Tree is like their nemesis. He counters everything of what they want to do.
This is true. I think, Tundra, they are slowly becoming the team where people aren't enjoying their Dota anymore because it is just so slow and methodical.
Whoa.
No. Some people might be going there. Now that we've had to repeat the tiebreakers 3 times, when
We can
Tundra
say
play,
it.
it's like we can say
We
it.
can say it.
It's like TI
The game
was
didn't
hyped.
have to go to 60 minutes, is what we're trying to say.
It's like every game, Tundra, like they're very methodical. They're very good at breaking down the map, but it's like they really wait to break the team, you know? And it's cool. And there's the tree and the Brood leader band. Yeah.
So Kezu's retiring. He's
Whatever.
out of here. Okay, completely different though. We see a Shadow Demon.
Okay, a soft
Okay.
cover
Wow,
against the
wait, I'm
Batrider
gonna make a
potentially.
really hard call here. They will pick DP Pango or Batrider.
Yeah, I was thinking the
Pango.
same. This is some crazy calls,
This is
brother.
crazy, yeah.
It's as if we've done this for 2 rounds prior. Oh, God.
10 seconds.
Also, it's so
Okay,
hard. I don't have my glasses. I'm
you
just
have to pick one.
squinting.
You only pick one.
I pick one.
Do you want your prediction platypus again?
Let's go.
Ooh.
Channeling his prediction energy.
I need 8 more seconds.
No, bro,
Too
the
late.
hell?
I need a time.
you were too slow.
Well, I
you
got
listed
one of them.
3,
Oh, no
and you
shit,
just had to
brother.
pick one of the 3.
They did take one of the three. I
It's
wasn't wrong.
Stormstorm, it has to be. Okay, but in this regard, Tundra shouldn't be too surprised. They're picking the SD, already a soft cover to the Batrider.
Yeah.
The slow, the disruption, you got multiple ways to disjoint his aggression. So then Entity get forced more towards the Pango. You also don't want to play DP into Shadow Demon. That's pretty atrocious as well. So it kind of leaves Pango as like the only option left.
So Tundra going to win this?
No.
Not yet. Follow the script now, okay?
I'm sorry.
We got told to follow the script. We
I
can't
didn't
break
read
away
it.
from it.
I didn't read it.
Okay.
I was too busy with trying to... Let me
Read
just-
the script quickly, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Thank
okay,
you.
yeah,
Okay.
got it.
So Tundra are the
So
underdogs.
so Tundra, I mean, man, it's just an uphill battle for them. I mean, this tiny Shadow Demon opening, guys, rough.
So
Nice.
I get. So what I think about the SD is that it's somewhat of a preventative pick against the bat, as T Governor was saying, and then also the offensive purge can be good against the tree and living armor. So maybe that's something that they theory crafted in a way. Tiny can potentially go mid against the Pango, even though I feel that it just suits Saxa very well. I think for most of the games we've seen them play, he just kind of pops off on a hero.
Guys,
Listening?
do you have to ban out the Undying if you're Tundra?
Ooh. I mean, they're probably spending a fair bit of time right now discussing it. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind it at all. Against SD, against Tiny, you throw down a Tombstone, you have the vision on them. These are heroes that you kind of want to see at the start of the fight, just so I understand if you need to pick them off and you need to dodge the initiation. So, yeah, a casual ban that way, I wouldn't be too afraid of it.
In order to take out Comfort, I think it does make sense. Even though I think we saw this matchup yesterday, the SD into the Undying in the lane. I guess it was these two teams that had it too. Where I think Saxa got like first blood, they did very well in the lane. So maybe if they already have a plan in mind of they're just going to pick Undying and we know our counter, then sure, we can let them have it. Maybe they will prefer to ban a Silencer instead. I think Silencer is a bit more annoying, JK. I think Zombie Man is more annoying.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
Sorry, you said something about the Shadow Demon, and I was trying to find where we saw it yesterday, and it was Tundra Entity in the first iteration of Tiebreakers.
Okay.
The first time they faced
Well, even so, they think it's too annoying. Don't really blame them. I think it's one of Entity's best heroes. There's more heal, more annoying when you stack it up with the Treant, so...
I feel like for Entity now, depending on this opening pick from Tundra, Disruptor +1 is probably going to be the way they lean.
Yep.
The laning dominance, the fact that you play behind the aggression of Pango, easy to play on. SD, sure, you might save them, but yeah, I think it's too much defensive team fight. Again, Entity, I think the archetypes of Entity and Tundra, they're both, Entity's a little bit more aggressive, but they have more static supports in the side lanes. So Tundra, who are very static in how they play, Entity just kind of eventually get a little bit of a better timing early and just break them. So yeah, I feel like just going for these type of supports would just fare pretty well. God, I really do squint when I don't have my glasses on, Christ.
Yeah, that's Doom. They picked up Doom.
Yeah. Luckily, he's big enough and muscly enough that I can make that out from the pixels.
Okay, just help me along though.
Thanks.
No, you're welcome.
Their bans are good in terms of Tundra. They protected this Doom fairly well. So there's no Dirge that they can pick here, no Zombie Man, no Pudge. Like all these 2 aggressive carries are banned, perhaps 3 if you want to count Entity's Lark ban. Because I do think the best way to answer Doom is to just make sure he doesn't have a free early game. Because this hero is very lackluster if he's just, well, a farming bot, which tends to happen if he doesn't do well in the lane.
Yep. So then would you like Entity to pick up that +5 and then an a safe lane carry?
I mean, they could just, I'd say, like, I don't mind like a clock drow or something here. Just then you always have the vision of the SD, the drow secures the lane. That's an option. If they want to go different route, they can do like Disruptor plus monkey-esque hero, and you go for more, okay, Terrorblade. Go on, pick the Disruptor.
TB Disruptor, I think, would be the most probable duo. Like, some sort of kill combo in the game. Once again, you have this Pango rolling in, so Disruptor also makes sense with that later. You can always follow up, so it's nice.
We are going to see Terrorblade into SD, though. It's going to be SD will always be able to take over the illusions, farm himself, pressure the Terrorblade a little bit in the game. I guess you already have Pangolier somewhat as a cover down the line. If you have Ags, he's just rolling through the fight. He might passively kill off the illusions. Oh, okay, yeah. Fishman +5 Rubik. I won't lie. At this point, I just assumed it's banned.
It was already banned? Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
It happens.
It's a pretty chill game, honestly. Like, you're going to get free spells. They're going to be coming to you. Either SD, Tiny, Doom to some degree. Like, yeah, it's going to be a very casual game. Just push out the lanes. Like, all of Entity's here right now, they just push out lanes so quickly that Tundra will farm and Entity will push out lanes. And then at some point, after maybe 5 kills in the first 20 minutes,
Yeah.
someone's going to break.
Do they close the phase with a 9 hero or a Skitter hero?
I think it should be a 9 hero. I
Because you know
think
the Pango.
it's most likely mid. I know that Toby can play it. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
sure.
I would have guessed either between, sorry, there was Zeus and Ember.
Yeah.
I think usually when they play Doom or like these Spectres and Rickies, they always like to have like this bonus damage coming from somewhere else. So Doom has bonus damage from Zeus to get pick off, same with the Tiny, so they synergize nicely. Should be fine against the Pango mid and does well against the TB in the game.
I think if you're Entity now, you're banning probably like Faceless Void +1, one of these heroes that can be a frontline through your positioning, because for Tundra, they just need to...
These bans, what about on the side of a Tundra?
I would like a secondary hero that goes in, I think, with the Pango. I feel like Toby plays more of the Aura heroes, but I feel like this could be a very cool Centaur game. You can disengage from both the SD ult and the Doom. Gives you another target to go in. You can potentially build Pipe against Zeus, which would also help your TB a lot in the game.
Same principle, they've done Darkseer before, just some Pipe buyer who buys...
Oh, sure, Darkseer. No, it works really well with them. I'm just a bit afraid against Doom SD, I guess.
I just
But
feel
it
like
really fits their script.
both of these... I mean, it's again scripted. I mean, both of these teams are going to be so static in nature, unless
Yeah.
some team somehow finds a volatile entry to the game, that you can just pick these heroes that need time to come online.
Yeah.
Because how's Tundra going to take a tier 1 in the first 20? Entity, they could. TB, TP, rotation plus Pango. They Entity have the kind of the momentum to do that early on. And that's why I think Tundra already now banning out the Lycan. They're afraid of just some overwhelming presence that collapses the map. So maybe even like a Visage or something as well might
I
get
guess
banned out.
Visage could work well too.
I mean, Beastmaster's there as well. I think anything push-orientated on that side of Entity will be scary for the first heroes of Tundra. Like they don't really defend towers. Zeus can. They don't really rotate and kill things.
Yeah.
It's difficult for Tundra. They really need to lean on their Tundra vibes to get into this one.
Yeah, I would just like Entity to abuse the fact a little bit, because it looks like it's going to be an SD5 with the Tiny being 4 who lanes with the Doom. Either way, it's a Tiny or SD5, which doesn't really do so much. So I think you can abuse that with heroes that really kind of get a lot from the fact that they have a very good few early minutes.
Sure.
Like Visage with early good levels, you know, it's going to get 6 fast. Centaur as well, he's going to get through the lane well, get this pipe. I think the Void Band is very good.
Yes. Good job, Entity. Great Void Band.
They're learning. Would you like to keep clapping?
No, I just really like how soft it sounds in my ear. It's kind of... It's nice.
Tundra's last ban, what do they need to try and cover for themselves?
We've mentioned the Beast already, the Visage. That's the more pressure-orientated bands.
Which one would you be more comfortable to come up against as Tundra?
Honestly, neither. They're both pretty scary for their draft.
You gotta let one of them through.
What would they
Or
pick?
both.
They do have ultimate last pick as well, so maybe there's some carries, but... What did we also mention? They banned the Visage,
Centaur.
sure.
It's like Centaur,
yeah,
Visage.
Centaur.
Oh, and then Darkseer, yeah.
Yeah.
And Darkseer.
So if it really depends on how Entity want to play this game out. If they want to play more for the big team fights and TB will be the win factor, they could maybe go for the Darkseer. If they want to have early pressure to open up the map to ensure TB can farm, they'll go for Beastmaster. If they want auras, again, they'll lean more Darkseer.
I just really like the secondary engage against this draft. That's why I would prefer the Centaur, but I don't know how much that is within Toby's comfort. Because I think he does play a lot of heroes, but I do think he prefers some of these other heroes a bit more.
Yeah, he's not played it in the DPC so far, at least in this tour. Probably in prior tours.
What's it gonna be, brother?
They got time, alright?
But there is potential you put the Pango off lane, but I don't really like that too much. We saw that swap up yesterday.
Don't do Storm like that. Let him just have his fun. Yeah.
I agree. Just giving them another option to make a mistake.
Ooh, I mean, it's not gonna be a Razor, right? Oh, oh, whatever. It's fine. So yeah, like again,
Toby Brew, this one's very stock standard. We've seen him play it.
we're talking about like heroes that mess up the fight.
Yep.
The middle ground isn't the objective pressure, but will just annoy you so much. How can Zeus or SD enter this fight with confidence when there's some Storm Panda running and lifting them up and forcing them to be in a bad position? Overall, like the pick, now Tundra need to pick up a carry that can pressure a Brew and a Tree in lane, whilst providing some aggressive front line. It's
Whilst being in
difficult pick.
Skitter's hero pool.
True.
Nothing coming to mind?
It doesn't seem to. So the thing is, at least I think you don't need to overly deal with the TB too much. I think something that Tundra want here is a hero that deals well with the lane. Because as we said, your post 5 is not going to be very strong. And I think Tundra are going to want to actually play a pretty slow game. Not very surprising. You have like Doom, who just wants to farm.
So shocked.
Yeah, Zeus, who wants to play on high range. But I am currently struggling to find the best pick.
Go 1-for-1 on the carry. Just pick up the Deucer. Just AFK the entire game, Tundra. Let's take it to like 90 minutes. No.
You just love
No, I
pain.
kinda. But like, I don't really know what happens with like. You don't really want to pick CK into this. You don't want to pick these semi-cores. Okay, they just go for Bloodseeker. Of course, Bloodseeker into Pango, sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Entity's draft is better on paper. I think they scale a bit nicer. The thing for Tundra, at least, is they will hit some way down the line timing, like half an hour into the game, where if they poke and prod the fights correctly, meta gets wasted. That's when they can capitalize and really punish Entity.
Is that what the script says?
Kinda, yeah. So I think, so script-wise, Entity's like leading early. Tundra has a moment of comeback. Everyone thinks the ties will get broken, and then Entity will just come sweeping back in, taking us to the OG Entity
Just a
series.
massive team wipe, no buybacks, and they just run it straight down.
We'll actually have 10 buybacks, so take another fight after, and then they'll win that one. But
Of course, my bad.
Yep.
Because how did you read the script?
How am I reading the script? I think it's being broken. I think that Tundra has
Actually.
this one. I think that their idea is fairly simple in a way where, okay, Doom goes on Brew, Rupture goes on Pango, Zeus deals with TB. Sure, you have some Lincoln Spheres, you can deal with that, but there's the aggressive Purge. At least to dumb it down, I think that's what Tundra want to do in this game.
Okay.
And I think they'll execute it.
Well, this is the 4th time we are seeing Tundra and Entity play up against each other, including the whole DPC. Are Tundra able to finally overcome whatever this blockade is for their games against Entity? We'll have to find out as we jump on over to Lyrical and Fogged.
Thank you so much, Nat. Fogged, we have been here before. We may be here again, depending upon what happens. Trying to just breathe it all in.
Deep breaths, everybody.
It's going to make it happen.
The night could be a long one.
How are you thinking? Do you think it's going to be?
I feel like I'm going to curse people, though. I don't want to even say anything. Both drafts look fun. We're going to have a great time. So
Okay.
everybody, you know, tune in, enjoy yourselves. I mean, I'll say it. I do like the... God, I don't... Okay, I'm doing it. I like the Tundra one. I like Hezu. Exactly what he was saying. That's exactly what I was kind of thinking. They've kind of covered it with these type of picks to do everything. I think the Brew might have some trouble in the game, but... who knows? I mean, these games have been absolutely crazy, and Entity, they've made some beautiful things happen at times, and they have broken Tundra before, as we've seen literally yesterday.
I mean, so I'm going to be real with y'all. We were sitting in front of his computer looking, and he's just screaming, yeah, take that one, take that one. He's losing his mind over here, loving the draft that they got on Tundra. We'll see if it actually works out or not. Obviously, Entity, they've been able to pull things together before. The question I'm really curious about is at 50 minutes, what's going to happen?
Oh,
that's
God,
the
don't
average,
ask it, don't ask
That
it.
is the average game time that we have in these qualifiers. 7 games so far played in these tiebreakers, and the average game time 50 minutes in. Well, you can see right there the name given over, tie breaker.
My man Stormer, he's going to break it somehow, some way.
The one downside is that the easiest way to break the tiebreaker is for them to lose.
Yes, it's true. Oh man, yeah. I mean, let's see if this Brew can do it. Let's see if Entity's gonna be able to do it with Katomi. Of course, that's the other thing too. Will we doubt this man's tree? He's a beast on it. Who knows? This is gonna be quite the match.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I think it's kind of interesting too, because I remember you talking a few different times that Tundra, not a type of team that tends to go for counter picks, but this time around they've really invested in it. It feels like
It's counter picks, but it's also fits their style and it fits the game for it, right? Like they love 9 on the Zeus, even in some games where it's like, why'd they pick the Zeus? But this time you clearly see to counter the TB, to get the vision for the initiations, and it's Zeus Bloodseeker. So it is a duo on its own where it's incredibly potent. You throw this Blood Rage on the Zeus in these mid-team fights. If they don't get on top of him, he's going to kill everybody. So, whew, all right, let's see how it all goes.
Of course, they watching, a panel and everybody else was thinking they need somebody to carry all these auras rather. It's going to be the Brewmaster. We saw Brewmaster about 5 hours ago in the China DPC that did not look so great on the side of LGD, but they did end up winning that game. Do you think that this hero has kind of what it takes?
He definitely can have some struggles, of course, versus the silence that's coming out from the Bloodseeker. And if he gets doomed, of course, he's not going to be able to have much of a game. But he is going to be that hero to just pierce to the backlines to get on the Zeus. So if Toby ends up having a decent game, maybe he's going to be that answer to allow Watson to have a better game. Because, you know, if Zeus is alive, that's where Watson's going to struggle in most fights.
Yeah, Watson definitely going to be able to do a freaking ton on this Terrorblade. And I'm kind of interested, too, because, you know, we were looking at the entire way that this is built up, the Doom pick coming out, and then having that TB there, too. I want to see if they want to try and play sort of fast tempo with this Terrorblade, or if they're more comfortable kind of sitting back and waiting for the later stages, because late game Tundra looks scary as hell.
Yeah, they have so many counters for the TB. Even the SD at some points in the game. You could just see an SD disrupt the TB. They initiate on him, and those illusions will rip him to shreds. So, I mean, who knows, right? Like, these games, very hard to determine based off of any type of early game or anything like that, as we've seen. It's all going to just be up to all these plays and everything.
Well, Fishman. Nice little ward there up on the high ground.
Yep.
Not sure if he's going to draw aggro, maybe? Okay, tried to go for a deny.
Nice attempt.
Radiant's bottom
Well,
tower
Saksa, he's actually messing with Watson, who's going to end up missing a range creep. I think he actually missed the XP. No, he actually got the XP. Looked like he almost missed the XP for that range creep. And we'll have to pull it under tower. So he's going to have 2 creep waves, 3 creep waves even coming in.
Man, Stormer getting very low mid against 9.
Yeah, doesn't have the stick at the start. We'll be able to bring it out soon. Room control, both of them will be able to get it. No one checking those sides. Bottom, bit of a battle coming out.
They connect the creep waves together. Watson taking some damage. Saksa right on top of him. Only has that level 1 in the Tiny, but might be something that they could try and go for when he gets that level 2 of just an avalanche and trying to harass back.
Depending if they find any creep, I think, in particular. We're seeing the wards coming out. They're blocking their own camp, of course. Fishman does not want to allow 33 to get any of these creeps that he just ends up like dominating lanes with, especially that lightning creep, that harpy we've seen him do. So 33 just eats a regular creep.
And we've mentioned it a billion times, but I figure I'll just, you know, put it out there one last time for anybody that's just tuning in. For these tiebreakers to end, Tundra need to get a victory here, or Entity need to win 2 times in a row, one against Tundra and then later on against OG. Otherwise, we're just going for another round. Fishman trying to battle her back against. Saksa still only level 1 for both of them.
He's given a bunch of XP to 33. Level 3 on the Doom, level 3 on the Terrorblade. Both of these supports just not trying to take XP.
Rotations mid, is that something that we might end up seeing? Well, wait a minute now. Going for the all-in. Stormstormer pops the Fairy Fire. Bottle trying to get away.
Got him.
That's going to be it. First Blood 9 solo kill.
That's a big deal. And having Zeus get this type of start, especially in versus that like, counter matchup versus the TB, could be quite huge for 9. And yeah, just looking at bottom, we did see those double wards, of course, as I was mentioning. You know, actually even 3 wards to block all 3 camps, even the one on the medium camp to make sure that the Doom doesn't get that creep there.
Oh, nice attempt trying to block in Katomi with the illusions, but couldn't quite get it.
All 3 lanes. Been pretty good for the side of Tundra, but Watson is getting the farm. That's the important one to look at.
Fishman gonna get hit there with the mana burn.
Yep, he's found a creep. Where the hell did he? I found that at the hard camp, I guess, on his own side. So we'll at least have something for 33.
Yeah, and redraws back over to this creep wave again, so they will be able to keep the farm going. This creep wave going to push out pretty heavily into Doom as Skitter making some good damage here, actually. With Snaking nearby, they're going to try and go for the banishment. Skitter dropping lower and lower. Katomi looks like he's going to be able to walk that one off.
Yeah, for one of the first times I feel like it's not these lanes that actually constantly put pressure onto giving Skitter these thirst stacks. Besides, of course, 9 getting that kill into mid. Snaking now, perhaps in trouble.
It's gone in far. 2 points in that Cinder Brew, and Snaking in trouble. Katomi on his tree. We have seen him be so successful with these early punches.
9.
Stormstormer.
He's dropping low.
He doesn't have anything.
He got him again.
Oh,
God.
Man.
9 is level 6 at the 4-minute 45-second mark. Holy. I mean, getting the vision, right? Getting that vision from the thirst allows him to get that kill into the tree line. And Snaking's death now feels less bad because he goes toward the mid lane, fills up the bottle. 9 swaps his arcane or his energy boots into the backpack, so he's going to have mana efficiency. Big plays.
At the very least, it was long enough ago that he's going to have a TP to come back out to lane.
Yeah.
That is very, very important for Stormstormer here.
He's going to be really underfarmed, though. 900 behind the Zeus. Skitter.
In trouble. They're thinking about just chasing underneath the tower and forced to pop that stick. Not having a good time right now up on the top side for the Bloodseeker.
We've been seeing Snaking, though, stacking. So they have 2 triple stacks, if I'm not mistaken, in the jungle. To either give it to the Zeus or give it to Skitter to get him back in the game.
Well, Watson getting some extra harassment on there. Tried to go for the kill onto him. but not quite going to be enough.
Didn't see the stick, I guess, get popped. It came out at the same time almost. But now everybody kind of low, so Skitter, 500 movement speed up top.
Yeah, that part is pretty nice for him, at least.
Yeah, Zeus Bloodseeker is always going to be this really powerful duo.
Trying to put some counter pressure on now. Stormstormer shoving the wave underneath into him. Fishman Soxa battling it out for the rune. And Tiny able to make a little bit better play for it.
The battle of underleveled supports. Both still just level 2. They're just making sure they give all that XP to their cores right now.
Just give some punches on the way out. Obviously, very annoying to play against that one on the Tiny with that limited armor. But you can see Tundra across all their lanes looking pretty solid. It's mainly just the Brew that's a little bit behind. Does have a creep wave coming into him, though.
It's the Brew, and I mean the Pango. It's pretty significant. 9 level 7 having this type of start is gonna reflect into that mid game for him to be able to chase down either going for the TV or just killing these side lanes.
Working back, Fishman. Oh, in some trouble. Watson pops the Metamorphosis, though. Starts to turn, wants to get a kill. Soxa gonna go down. Now we'll pressure back 33 a bit, but instead just takes it.
They're also trying to steal stacks. They're attempting to, but not able to. Stormstormer walked into enemy jungle to try to take some of these away from Snaking. So Snaking says, fine, I'll take them myself.
That's a nice little injection of gold for him, too.
Yep. After having a bit of a slow start. Finds himself a shovel, too. Immediately at 7-minute mark, they get a neutral item. It's kind of the dream.
Feels the bottle in the mid lane.
And he finds the ward also right away. And yeah, they're filling the bottle in mid lane for 9 to go farm these stacks. Because Stormstormer is taking quite a bit of them.
And they find Fishman, and he doesn't really have that much to go, but
Stormstormer
trying to go for that roll. Goes for it now. A couple more hits, but they will take down Snaking.
Nice play. Great invasion. They leave Watson alone bottom. Fishman comes up here to help out his buddies, try to contest these stacks.
Has to be careful. That Thunder God's Wrath 9 was moving in to try and catch him there, but can't quite. Does he go for this? Yeah, they have a ward.
They have a ward, yeah. They see him. Still an explosive start, really, for the side of Tundra.
2K gold.
Doom, I believe. Midas is coming out in the Courier. Level 6 already attained. 3 points in Devour, and they secure an Arcane Rune. 9 continue to get enabled. Now Katomi in trouble.
Rupture out. Nature's Grasp tries to keep him alive. Trying to back out of there. Still some good damage with that Cinder Brew, but Katomi is going to fall. So they bring forward. Tundra find a kill, and now going to TP bottom.
With an Arcane Rune
out of his mana pool.
Absolutely. 33 had gone for full greed. He actually puts even the 4th point in the Devour, not getting the Doom to be able to dive under there.
Now, Panel talked about it. We've heard it multiple times. This Doom has kind of been underwhelming time after time, getting farm, not being able to close out games. But this time it's against a Terrorblade. Does that change things for you?
I mean, people like to counterpick the Doom with TV. Whoa. Just because you have that high physical damage. Doom now has tons of armor, though, but yeah, 33 is going to go down. His job, I think, it's either Doom the TV or Doom. All 3 cores are pretty good Doom targets, to be honest with you, this game. So it depends on if the Pango gets ruptured, if he needs to Doom the Brew before a split or something like that. So it does feel like a pretty good game for the Doom after he dies.
Right. I'm glad that I was able to cast her curse. Yeah, that's good.
Just a little bit.
10-minute mark. They will have tomes coming out soon. Katomi, as we have seen many times, already level 5. And likely going to try and be one of the people really scaling in this one.
Yeah, they're going to send him down bottom. This is usually how they like to play with it. Give him tons of farm. Send the whatever carry they have, doesn't matter what it is, send it to the jungle. And Katomi takes lane and farms for usually his Arcane Boots into Shard, and then he plays really disruptive around map with rotations and deep wards.
Even farming up these small camps potentially there. But Stormstormer holding on to mid, and they smoke up with 2. As the Pango and Rubik going to head off together. Now, Rubik does have level 5, not quite level 6, after taking the tome for himself.
Okay. Perhaps they can set up here for Skitter, especially if Toby just pops the split and runs him down. Skitter might be in trouble.
Do they realize it, though? Looking for it. Chase in. Got him caught. Snaking is there for the save, but it's going to come out a little bit late, and I'm not sure if it's going to make enough of a difference. So Skitter being chased. Toby still going in on him there. Has the punch. One more round of the hurl boulder. They get the lift, the pullback. Skitter's still living through this somehow. They need to take him down, finally get him, but comes at the cost of Fishman, and now Toby in pretty freaking deep. They already went away on Stormstormer. Toby has stick charges, tries to back away. 9 is taking a ton of damage with that Urn and Cinder Brew.
They've got another Avalanche.
He buys a little bit more time now. We'll have another clap off of this, but the Ava, the toss, be able to connect with it.
They get the kill, but it takes him some time. He actually gets the last hit on the Storm Panda, so he gets heal from it, from his thirst, ends up forcing him to commit deep under tower, and he gets the Rupture off too on the Pango, so Stormstormer has to bail instantly, so a decent kill to at least get Skitter, but Tundra able to counteract it nicely.
And the sort of setup for this game, you know, you're thinking about who you want to have a lot of farm on. Skitter being hampered a little bit isn't great. He's definitely been somewhat shut down. Looking for a toss back, but he misses. Oh, Sox not quite on point there catching Stormstormer.
They're continuing to secure these runes. This time, though, Stormstormer is going to be able to finally get a power rune. And his Diffusal Blade about to be finished up, too. So, all things considered, after that mid lane dying twice, has recovered very nicely. But we're seeing tremendous stacks coming out. Tundra, another triple stack. I believe they had a triple stack hard camp for 33 as well that they cleared out before. And now looking to make their own move top. No split, but Watson's here.
Snaking, he's going to be the first point of contact. Will go for the imprisonment for a moment, but is definitely going to drop. So that should be some good pressure onto the tier 1 tower, if not taking the whole thing.
I like that. That was a cool move there from Watson. Very unexpected. Yeah, should be able to get a tower out of it. Don't know if Tundra's going to look to even contest it.
2K gold lead at 12 minutes. It's remained somewhat consistent, but this type of move, opening up the map, is what Entity want to do.
Yeah, Tundra doesn't really hit buildings too well at all. This game is 33.
Rolling back and forth. There's going to be a lot of gold. He's in the death zone. Has the overgrowth, trying to turn this. Watson TP's bottom after taking the tower, and now finds the kill on the top net worth hero.
Watson, his rotations are so good this game. Top getting the tower, yeah, of course, and then coming down bottom. It's level 11 on this TB.
This is a problem for Tundra.
Yep. He is, what, 2,000 gold ahead of his counterpart, that Bloodseeker.
Bloodseeker, not really the hero I think of as like the big TB counter. It's going to have to be the Zeus making those moves in the late game.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they went for it, of course, but yeah, this is pretty big there for Watson. Can maybe itemize and protect himself.
Dude, is it going to happen again?
It could definitely happen.
Is it going to happen again?
It could. I still have faith because of how good the Zeus game was at the start, and they have this Doom to counteract. Still some faith, but Watson being that big is definitely an issue. And the fact that Tundra doesn't have great ways to hit buildings, take objectives, close the map off, that's where Katomi thrives, right? Arcane boots are done. He almost has Shard. He's just been parked bottom now for 5 minutes.
Katomi has had so many stellar games in this entire DPC, but specifically these tiebreakers. I feel like he's really stepped up his gameplay a lot.
Yeah.
We do see kind of an interesting build out of Zeus. He's going straight in for the E-Blade.
Yeah, this is the old build that we used to see, at least from 9 for a while. Sometimes the Kaya Sanj if it feels like he's actually pressured a bit more, but this is the delete Terrorblade build.
Will do so much damage. Soxa, Skitter gonna smoke together, head up top. 5 heroes from Tundra all on that top side of the map. Well, Entity, they're just farming. Can they connect onto anybody here, though?
Tundra wants to play a bit faster because of this kind of start, the slowdown of the Bloodseeker. And playing versus TB, you definitely want to play a little bit faster. Don't want to go too far into late game, even if you have, you know, those counters we mentioned and Panel was talking about.
But nothing gained. They can't connect with that smoke ink.
They're using illusions to scout a lot, too. I've been seeing Watson. He's been sending an illusion to help secure runes. And now we're seeing the Pango illusions there block both camps. So Stormstorm are able to block the hard camp and the Ancients to at least prevent some type of money going the way of Tundra.
Whenever they can. I mean, that feels like a Tundra play, you know?
Yeah.
The Entity, they're playing the map really well.
Economical damage.
Brew
Both sides.
going right into that pipe next.
Cool. That's a way, you know, itemizing to protect their TB. Ensure that he can get the split off, too. And there's the shard. So Katomi, already been able to just chill, linger bottom, keep the tower full HP. Now he has easier time to do it. Sure, if Zeus is there, they have the detection, but we've seen him do this so many times. And how deep like vision that he's able to get when he has this shard as well, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have been seeing Tundra, rather, play around their item timings quite well, and they're going to have a strong set of them here. So it's going to be the Doom BKB completed along with the tiny Blink Dagger. Although Soxa now, they find him. Yeah, there's the Invis. Sentry down and a roll to try and turn it. Toby shows up. Snaking's here too. There's a lot of heroes. Drops him down before Snaking can go in for the save. And
Rupture,
now
Stormstormer
up onto Doom. Stormstormer's in trouble. No way to get out of that one. And 9 shows up, finds Fishman. This is not the fight that Entity were looking for, but everything that Tundra wanted. So they bring numbers. We'll find Toby too, and he is in a world of hurt. Doesn't have any way to get out of here, and well, TP in one. Wait, that is Watson coming down here. Are they going to try and fight this? Toby still survivable. He pops the meta, going to run in like a psycho.
What the?
He has Doom still.
Oh, Watson made a big mistake.
Katomi's nearby him. They get the overgrowth, try to turn, but Soxa with the Avatos. They're going to find that kill. They thought they had used the Doom, I guess. But a tragic mistake for Entity, and Tundra, like we said, everything they wanted.
Perfect timing, really, for them to make the rotations. And Watson, we're praising him, we cursed him. Making great moves. This time, just like you said, TP's in kind of by himself. And 9, he switched the build. So he bought Shard, actually, instead. And now he's almost got a full Aghanims. 8-0 on this Zeus. And he is that counter for the TB. Tundra kicking up the pace quickly, and there's now the Blink Dagger also from Soxa in that same rotation that they were making down bottom. Has more fights kicking off.
Oh yeah, I might need to get back into the real game here because they're not going anywhere. They're ready for another round.
Soxa.
He's going to be the one that's left behind. So they will use Pango ulti for this. Toby moves on in, and we'll take that kill. But still, the bigger kill was on that Terrorblade.
And it was the thing is too, he TP'd, popped meta, and then died. So 80 seconds without a meta as well also to Leo to look to join into any fights too. That's pretty huge. And yeah, 3 components now for that Zeus Aghanims. Tundra, 4K lead.
Wow, he has really stepped up the farm there on 9.
He is, 8-0. 2 solo kills in the mid lane. He wants these tiebreakers to end.
That's right. 18 minutes. I think Entity want him to end too, but not in this way.
He got another shawl now too, so big increased damage coming out from 9 on top of everything he already has.
I mean, for Entity, do you just have to dodge at this point? Like, is there a capacity to still fight around your ultis, maybe?
Oh, it's not easy. Stormstormer, he has a lot of gold saved up. He has to get a blink to get initiation, because if they don't initiate perfectly, every single one of these fights, it's going to be a Rupture thrown onto the Pango, and probably a Doom either onto TB or Brewmaster. So does feel like for Entity, they're probably going to have to kite in for quite some time versus these fights.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like he's wanting that Lincoln Sphere on Stormstormer. He's well above the Blink Dagger gold.
Yeah, he's thinking. Uh-oh, Stormstormer.
Yeah, now the catch is there, and he's just going to die with a whole mess of gold in his inventory.
He swashbuckled aggressively into high ground to clear the creeps, and Tundra just super ready for him.
Tundra pulling it together here.
6K lead. Now they're applying so much pressure on the map. It's giving Skitter all the space to catch up. His BKB is nearly done.
This is what they needed for him too.
Yeah.
So Brew, very poor, has that first item.
Aghanims finished on 9. That has to be one of the faster ones we've seen, with a Shard and Arcane Boots and everything. I mean, he's 9-0-2.
Soxa just kills off Fisherman. They will find him here, though, with the Toby ulti. Watson moving in, too, but I don't know if they can really run him down here at all. They're going to try to. 9 is nearby. If they full commit onto this, he is ready for the turnaround. And in fact, yeah, they're just going to lift, and that's a Brew ulti down, nothing gained.
Yeah, Snaking actually bought Shard on the Shadow Demon this game, so just pops that Demonic Cleanse onto his Tiny. He can just waltz right out. Really cool itemization. So you see that Tundra, Skitter, he has BKB, but always is going to have to watch out, of course, versus the Tree ult. Now you just throw Demonic Cleanse on him in fights too, and you just walk right through. It's going to constantly do that Dispel onto you to be able to protect you, and another pick-off.
Soxa getting the last hit on these kills, pairing together with 9. This is what they need to do.
Yeah, Tundra starting to pull pretty far ahead in this game. And constantly getting rune control. There was a moment there where I believe Entity got like 2 or 3 of these runes for Stormstormer with the illusion protection of Watson. But now 9. Bottom, he had a regen rune. Now he gets another full regen. His presence on the map is so threatening.
11-15, but the gold very much into the favor of Tundra. It is with the Doom with Midas, so you're sort of inflated naturally, but very much it feels like Entity are on the back foot and just having to respond to what Tundra are doing. They're not able to make moves on their own.
Yeah, it feels like a couple more of these like wasted or rotation wasted by Watson that things could just quickly collapse onto them.
Drops down that Nature's Grasp. We'll try and Tundra group together, ready for a smoke.
I'm surprised if Entity actually looks to go for a smoke play here. Watson is very close to BKB. I think he needs to finish BKB before he looks to join, or he just dies to the Zeus in particular.
Tundra's
hunting.
Are they thinking about Roche? I'm not sure. I guess that they just want to play on this side, but they're going to go in with 4.
Okay. Watson is finishing the BKB. He definitely told his team, guys, Just please.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. It's going to be coming out on the courier in a second.
Seeing if they can find anybody here. Saksa gets the whip and the walk away. Snake King. Smoke breaks there on Toby.
Okay.
And it looks like it's again going to be just a chill out moment.
Right, and they're playing versus Doom. So definitely still some high concerns for them. They're going to have to make something happen big with this Aegis and next meta form, it feels like.
Yeah, it really feels like they're going to need one of these other heroes to scale to have any type of way to fight in the late game. And the late game is the only place that they're going to be able to play, it feels like. Because right now it's not working, but on to 33. Get him with the root, trying to chase down. They pop that BKB. Overgrowth used immediately. He was able to dodge away from the split too. Tries TP out and does look like he's going to be able to do it.
Oh, that's 2 ults.
No chance for a kill, but did at least get that long BKB charge out of the Doom.
Yep.
Did Tundra want to try and punish this?
That's the question. I don't know if they have any smokes remaining. I'm actually checking if they do. I don't think. Okay, they do have 1 left on Saksa, but he's got to go back and heal. Could look to take advantage of this. They probably also are aware that Watson used meta to take that Roche at that time. So
yeah.
Not 100% sure though. They didn't. I don't think they got to see him in meta form at all. So maybe just sitting back and playing the farm game still, because they are just pulling further and further ahead. And what, like we were saying, it does feel like they're going to be able to outscale quite effectively. But it looks like we do have a little bit of a DC there. So I saw the Bloodseeker kind of just standing still for a second. So
okay, surely he'll be back soon. But yeah, what? So here's the thing, right?
Oh God, don't say it. In 25 minutes from now,
we've seen so many of these games where it feels like the team that's supposed to win to end the tiebreakers pulls out ahead, and then there's some like crazy play. There's some fight around a Roche pit. There's some weird thing that happens, and it all falls apart. And I kind of feel like that could happen here as well because, well, yeah, you've got the counters of the Zeus. You've got a Doom there. You've got, Bloodseeker for the Rupture onto Pango. Some of these heroes are a little bit on the squishier side from Tundra. If they get caught, if they get found, if they get controlled.
If they get caught. I think that's the big thing, right? Is if they can get to the back line, kill the Zeus off before these fights off, then the TB is probably just going to run rampant.
Yeah.
But it's not an easy ask for Toby in this game. He has no blink. He's very underfarmed. This game has just the pipe, so his form of being able to just jump into the fight's not easy. No blink either on Stormstormer because he had to, go for Lincolns to protect himself. Now he'll have it, so maybe that'll open up opportunity. But yeah, the key is have to find the Zeus. Otherwise, fights are probably just going to go totally Tundra's favor. And for now, that Aegis, 2.5 minutes. Not able to make anything of it.
No real plays around the map yet. They will find right here the Rubik. So Fishman has consistently gotten blown up 1-6-3 for him. It's been a bit of a rough one with Saksa getting online that quick.
10-0, 4-on-9 also. Level 18 on the Zeus, continuing just having a flawless game after a flawless laning phase too. So yeah, still feels like all the pressure is somehow for them to get to the Zeus and for Watson to somehow carry this one. But it is not an easy ask.
Right. Well, there is also the sort of added benefit that, for right now at least, Zeus doesn't have a way to deal with the overgrowth, and Katomi has the Blink Dagger. So that feels like maybe one of the other things you could try and do if you can get eyes on him.
Yep. It's going to be up to... Well, Snaking does have an answer, right? If he demonic cleanses the
that's
Zeus.
fair.
So depending on which one gets targeted, I think that's where Snaking's going to decide either disruption saves or demonic cleanse saving. So positioning going to be everything, initiation going to be everything, but it's a very uphill battle, I would say, for Entity.
Oh, yeah. Game is feeling quite rough.
Yep. And now even more cast range, 9. He'll swap that in gladly. Aether Lens plus the headband. Okay, they're trying to make some move here with the last bit of this Aegis. See if they find anybody.
Looking. There is nobody in that area. Tundra all set up on the top side of the map, and you can see his sportsbet.io odds very much into the favor of Tundra right now.
Yeah. There's too many counter picks that they've actually gotten this time. And now Skeeter, he actually has BKB and Manta and level 18, so he's got counter versus the tree himself. So yeah, I think Snaking is probably going to throw the Demonic Cleanse onto the Zeus in the fight if they get on top of him.
So they lay down a ward. There is no Saksa in this fight. If it starts popping off here,
they're out.
Snaking immediately goes for that TP, and yeah, Entity, even if they recognize what's happening, they can't get there in time to cancel those TPs.
Can't take advantage of the fact that they have Aegis at all. So 45 seconds, it's going to time out. Not going to be able to find anything. And Tundra just plays their effective Dota. You know, this is I know a ton of people love to watch how methodical Tundra plays, of course, right? I mean, it is really good Dota by them, as they've controlled almost all of this game, and they just are making 9 have the best situation possible for a pretty good Zeus game, too, versus the TB. He's gotten another rune, so an Arcane rune now picked up.
Sit back, relax, spam out your spells, feel good about it.
Yep.
And Tundra still have not been able to get any damage onto this tower here, while Entity, they're going to take the tier 2 top. So the gold lead insanely into the favor of Tundra. The fight's insanely into the favor of Tundra. They're not taking any objectives, though.
That'll come with time. You have to be able to win a fight to be able to win the game, right?
Right.
So for Entity, are they going to be able to find this opportunity? Toby has Blink, so now has a way to perhaps get those initiations to get into the backline versus Zeus, but as we've said, you know, Tundra have so many ways to bail each other out of it. And we do see Doom. Octarine's done. Picks up a Quickening Charm, soon 20. So these Dooms, the frequency of it, every minute or so. 68 seconds when he's got the talent. So scan comes out. Tundra looking to hit.
I wonder if they're just going to avoid this entire time, too. Like, losing Fishman here, they will get that kill, but the inability to push towers has got to be at least a little bit frustrating for Tundra. As maybe they're going to try and make a move here. Stormstormer just barely getting out of there.
That would be such a crucial kill if they get it too. Like, he has a gem. Taking that away would be brutal.
Oh, yeah.
And yep, just farming it up. Chilling. Level 20 now for the Doom. So, oh, sorry, 74 seconds cooldown on Doom.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, methodical game. They're feeling good.
Refresher ready for him soon.
Good God.
He is going to get very, very farmed.
Yeah, and then he doesn't have to pick and choose his target. He can Doom the Brew and the Terrorblade.
Just get them all.
Yep.
But you know what? The pace of this game, people realizing what's happening. Katomi, he bought that Midas.
Yep. He's like, all right, guys, nothing's going on. We see the way Tundra's playing. We need to have some way to scale. Otherwise, like, we are just going to lose based off of this, based off the matchups that we're against.
I gotta say, it's so strange watching Tundra play. Like,
it's methodical.
They have completely dominated this game. And they just have, like, such little tower damage. I guess a lot of it is the tree, too, right?
Yeah.
Just constantly healing those things up.
All right. So
Whoa.
switches it. He sees the Lincolns. He's like, I don't want them to multi-Lincolns us, I guess. And just wants to Doom in the AoE and run in. Okay. I think I would have preferred the Refresher, but 33. The God of Dooms. I will never argue with him.
True enough. Guy's pretty good.
He's a beast. And Tundra, are they going to look to perhaps make a move? They've got a smoke. But their lanes aren't really in the best position. They're just going to throw Zeus ult to scout.
Dude, Fishman is just, I can imagine.
He's panicking.
Like, where are they going to come from?
He's like, oh, God. Toby, stand next to me. The pipe aura, please.
I wonder if he goes eventually Refresher on Zeus if Fishman just dies in these fights instantly.
I feel like he will be able to get it. At the pace that this farm is going,
yeah.
I just feel like he will.
Not a bad way to play. Particularly that Blood Rage shenanigans.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, too, right? Just throw that Blood Rage. I'm surprised. I mean, we've been seeing it more, of course, them taking the Blood Rage attack speed, but this could have been a game where you see the argument for Blood Rage spell amp on top of it.
Well, you know what? You just get to level 29, right?
Whoa, 27.
27, sorry. Listen, NA math, okay? We're cast in Europe, but you can't take it out of us.
That's true. Smoke coming up. Tundra, even without the Zeus ult, looking to fight.
Immediately disrupt an illusion. Stormstormer Toby, they're on the low ground. Steps up, steps down.
God.
Dude.
That was a crazy blink up by Stormstormer.
Stormstormer's a maniac.
Because they saw the SD, right? They saw him disrupt, so goes for this crazy kind of play.
Well, they know there's a ward up there, that's for sure.
Yep. Won't be able to finish it, though.
Now the crazy play is if he goes back now.
Please no.
Does it again.
They know that there's a ward down here, though. They're going to check it out. Entity. They saw where Tundra was kind of swinging from. They have an idea that it's in the area. But not actually going to find it. So this ward is showing 3 heroes right now. But up top, they see 33.
They get it now.
They will get it, okay.
Roche going to respawn 5 seconds.
Alrighty.
And you got to wonder, are Tundra going to feel confident going in? Now, for my money, you look at it, they're looking insanely powerful. But, of course, that safe style, always trying to play conservatively whenever they can. Might not feel like it.
I mean, the Shadow Demon and the Tree almost have the same net worth as the Brewmaster. They may overtake even the Pango at some point soon, too, with the way that the supports are farming. The Philosopher's Stone is on both of them.
Yep. He has not really been able to progress in items that much. Toby goes back. They get the Thunder God's Wrath. Immediately smokes afterwards with Entity.
Okay. They have any other pickups? I mean, just Daedalus on Watson, right? Getting close to Satanic. Octarine. Now for Zeus. Tundra.
Lay down the vision. Scan is there. Soxa, the first one forward.
Look at the line that's drawn from Watson. He wants to get the big wraparound to find the Zeus.
Dude, if they make this play, this is crazy. This is crazy. They're crazy. This team's insane. Skitter, right at the start, they find him. Do they have a way to get him, though? The jump forward, the Doom, but he's still already in the form. Watson, meta, they kill off already Soxa.
Doom stolen.
Now, the turn? They just have to run away. Do they get Roche off of this? Oh my god. They get the lift up there onto Soxa. It was his courier that died in the fight, not actually him, but he is soon to follow. Dude, how?
The line, I mean, the line, Watson, he's in their brain. He's like, don't play around this ward. We know it's warded on this high ground. Go for big wraparound, and they'll find the SD. They find them and catch them off guard. And yeah, Roche,
dude,
now on the menu.
Dude, dude, what is this game?
And for the next fight, look what Fishman's got. So he's got Doom stolen himself, too.
Listen, I don't even know, okay? I don't even know. Like, Tundra, they just want to hit creeps forever. That's all they want to do in this world.
They messed up a little bit, too, with the way they used their... You know, he threw the Rupture out onto the Terrorblade. They threw the Doom onto the Doom, but Doom actually has to be careful after that moment. He has to actually run away because he has very little armor, and Watson does an insane amount of damage. Now Watson has Satanic.
I don't know what's happening anymore in this Dota game.
Anymore. But Entity, they're slowly dragging it back. Very slowly.
I mean, if that 12k gold lead stays consistent and you're getting into these big items for Entity that like allow them to weather through that storm, allow them to get on top of the Zeus, eventually this counter pick obviously is still enormous, really hard to deal with, but you can kind of find a way to win.
Definitely options now, seems like, at least especially.
They find Katomi. Soxa thought about going for him, but they can't go all the way in for this kill.
Oh, they're just like you said, just playing the farm game. Look at mid, he even gets more illusions, so Snaking gonna continue to farm too. Yeah, just farm, farm, farm.
I want to see building damage.
Do you though?
I want to see building damage.
Let's see how low it is on Tundra.
They have not opted to go for it at all.
Nope.
Which again, it makes sense given their draft. They don't have that many building hitters.
Yep.
And you can see, yeah, look at it. That's barely a tower. Holy moly.
Snaking actually has the most tower damage, and it's probably Watson illusions.
That's fair. That's a good point. 13-18. And Tundra, as they do, are waiting for the next set of items. I mean, again, SD Aghanim Scepter is going to be enormous for them. That feels like it's going to be pretty cool, and he's queuing it up. Does have it in the sights.
The save and the aggressive potential is going to be pretty nuts. And then he has so many ways to break Lincolns, right?
Yeah.
Literally like four different spells to be able to do it.
And of course, for the Bloodseeker, could go back for that Rupture talent later on as well.
He also has Halberd, so do have a bunch of different options. But right now, they do see Skitter trying to utilize their Aegis, but Zeus Ult will scout them.
Pops that Thunder God Wrath.
So tick down to what? 12k lead for a moment, back up to 14k. Tundra just farm, farm, farm.
An Entity gonna go for another tower. And Tundra, they don't want to do that.
Nope.
They are not interested.
They're like, wait 2 minutes, 30 seconds for the fight, unless someone's completely out of position. So ways to protect each other also. They've got a Lotus now on Stormstormer, and soon, how much longer on Doom? Stolen. Only about 30 seconds left on that.
So 37 minutes, next round of neutrals are up. Watson pushing the tier 2 on the bottom lane. Entity feeling like they want to make a move now, get a fight out of this Aegis, see if it can work for them. The refresher is not there for Doom. He went for the overwhelming blink. So Aegis will kind of be dealt with, or rather can't really be dealt with that easily.
Yeah, interesting. He's still pretty lackluster on the armor. They have not built any armor items on the side of Tundra. Well, there's going to be an AC also soon for Brewmaster. So they're going to start getting kind of squishy, especially on the Doom. Definitely going to be looking at some of these initiate. Oh, big item. Timeless Relic. Probably send that back to the Zeus. So 9 continues to be incredibly potent.
And he is going for that refresher next.
Oh, top rune.
to DD.
Entity's able to spot that one.
That would be such a nice pickup for Watson.
He's almost got, I mean, he's getting to critical mass. He's almost at the 6th slot soon.
Soxa shows for a second, but they back away.
Farm, farm, farm. Push lanes out.
Farm, farm, farm.
Tundra just really looking to avoid this Aegis timing.
They don't look like they're quite going to get in position to get that DD, at least for now, although Mao making the move into their side of the map, they might. Entity did get a ward placed on their high ground over by the Ancients, so Tundra... And the problem is, like, smoking into that area is so hard because this tier 1 tower mid is still up.
Yeah, they actually don't have access if they're going from bottom side at all. And now Watson has Blink, so he has a way to get on top of Zeus as well.
Send in the illusions. Don't need to be that concerned about any of this, but they're going to try and send illusions at the tier 1 tower. Tree armor keeping it all fine, and that DD bottled up.
Okay, 30
Blink.
seconds.
Blink done for Watson.
Does have to put away his boots, but he's got Demon Zeal inside some of these fights, so can maybe stick on targets. And he only needs probably a couple hits if he finds the Zeus.
Yeah. Going for that swift blink after, and a Trickster Cloak. That is a nice pickup as well.
Yep. Trickster Cloak, I could believe, also on Skitter.
Katomi buys out for the refresher.
What the? Where the
Dude.
hell did he get all this? I mean, the Midas.
The Midas.
The Midas and the the Midas and the Philly.
Listen, they may not have 3 cores, but they have, you know, 1 core and kind of 1.5 via the other ones.
Something like that, yeah. Lots of control. And Watson is the big damage dealer, right? So, all right.
Katomi finds Snaking, gets him caught, goes for the imprisonment. Stormstormer looking for the roll. They find him. They'll bind him. Snaking going to be in the grave.
That's a big steal.
That
Disruption.
is a huge steal with Watson.
Yep. Now they've got the disruption even to protect him and even get those illusions. Could see even Fishman now pop off a little bit. So much farm from Tundra, just still farming, farming, farming. Like I said, they want to scale infinitely. Refresher soon to be out for 33 if he opts to go down that route.
You know, it's often talked about the sort of net worth to damage ratio, and it's not looking great right now for Tundra, if I'm going to be honest.
For 9, yes, but for everybody else, not so much.
They send in the illusions, start to beat down this tower.
DD.
This is an issue. DD out for Watson, not willing to pop it yet.
And Watson is holding buyback as well, just in case of anything.
So incredibly high damage on this Terrorblade. And
okay, now 33 is actually going to go, perhaps for armor, unless he switches it up. So Shiva's is queued.
But you can see, like, the fact that the Terrorblade is keeping level with 33, like, Doom, Midas, everything is a pretty big problem, I feel like, for Tundra.
Who knows?
Who knows what's going to happen?
Honestly, who knows right now? It's just all depending on how these fights will kick off. I still feel like the Zeus has enough to handle him, but if they get on the Zeus, if they delete 9 out of the fight and he doesn't have buyback or something, then who cares how much money he has?
That's true.
Gonna be a lot up to if they just find him. And
So
now they have an AC of their own.
AC completed. I almost was wondering if we were going to see an overwhelming blink from Terrorblade instead, just to, like, boost up that HP pool.
No, he commits. He
Yeah.
just wants sheer damage.
Understandable.
All he needs is a couple swings. If they're able to get on these heroes, if they're able to find these pesky, annoying Tundra players who just
Right.
avoid everything right now and just farm.
I mean, the other thing is that with more room to grow, like an Aghanim Scepter for them will also be insane, right?
Mhm.
The blink in, pop Ags, just go to town on 1 or 2 different heroes there. But we will see.
So much patience.
Pango has an Arcane Rune currently bottled up.
How are the levels looking across the board also? So we have 23 on Zeus, 24 on Doom, 22 on Watson, and 22 on Stormstormer. And now they're looking to smoke. Can they find something?
Can they do it?
Can they get on top of this SD? Can they get on top of the Zeus? They have to kind of find both, as I think Snaking's committed. The Aghanims has been purchased.
So buyback status right now, TB, Pango, Rubik, Tree, they all have it. Brew is a little short. And then on the side of Dire, obviously Doom, Zeus, and that Tiny. Can they find another big wraparound play on Entity?
They got to find the SD and the Zeus. So I think Snaking's positioning. He has to chill pretty far back now.
Skitter shows.
Okay, Zeus ult.
Pop it. Now they see where everybody is. So we'll get back into position here. 33, unlikely to find a great combo.
think 33 now has Shivas as well, too. I mean, just dunking out items. He's
Why
doing
not?
almost a critical mass also.
Dude, I told you.
Soon to be able to
50 minutes.
50 minutes, you said
50
it.
minutes. And it might not even be over then. Who knows? They hold on to this side. Refresher done on the Zeus, so no buyback. They bought out on all of these heroes.
There are some fragile heroes on the side of Entity. This Refresher could just almost delete Fishman entirely.
Yeah, he needs to stay close to that brew.
Yeah.
All it takes is a moment there.
I feel like this game is just going to end in one fight.
It-
One
it-
fight with multiple buybacks.
It might be that type of a game. I mean, that's the other thing too, right? With Tundra right now having bought out for all these items, if they do go all in, and then it's Entity that have the buybacks, they're holding on to this outpost, and they are holding on to that tier 1 tower mid, so they can get back into the fight easily.
And they have this ward up on high ground, so right now they have great information of wherever Tundra comes from. Tundra working hard to try to get this tower. Mosquito, Snaking is doing all that tower damage with these illusions.
In the meantime, look at this. Terrorblade Illusions dealing with top. So the smoke up. They find Katomi right at the start. Jump in. Toby's there. Broken dead. Does have buyback if they want it. Doom onto Pango. Do they have the fight, though, that they need? Stolen Scorched Earth. That's not good enough. Tries to get away, but Pango gets dropped. This wasn't enough to deal with Watson, though. He's still at half HP. Katomi back into the fight. Gets the overgrowth. There's the BKB. Everybody else held in place, but not for long enough to really go for a fight.
That's a lot of buybacks from Entity.
That is a lot used.
They also used meta. Tundra coming out big in this fight. They didn't use much. I mean, they used their Refresher, and but they get the big catches out of it.
Watson still sticking around like he wants to fight there. There's the Sunder, the turn, a couple punches. Can they chase down Skidder? The run is there, trying to get damage out. Soxa gets the blink away. 33 gets the blink away. They are playing around this fight perfectly. 9 over to the side. He just TPs away behind a tree.
They just dance around him, and now Roche is up.
This is the fight that Tundra was waiting for.
Patient.
21,000 gold lead.
Yeah, super patient. Kiting 33 with some nice maneuvering there, dodging that Rolling Thunder. And yeah, we saw that explosion. How much damage 9's able to do. Timeless Relic Refresher. Angle just gets deleted.
There wasn't a chance in the world for him to get out of that one.
They've waited for such a long time for this moment. Now, are they going to be the ones to be able to come in into a Roche pit?
And look at that hero damage now, the swing. I mean, that's the thing, right? If Tundra's not fighting into you, Entity's not doing damage either.
Yeah. As we said, you know, they may be able to take towers, may be able to take objectives, but can they win any fights?
Right.
Snaking did use, I believe, all of his charges there. So I believe he demonic cleansed off 2 of the roots, plus broke the Lincolns, and even threw maybe an extra purge onto the Pango.
But as is the Tundra way, they take the fight, they win the fight handedly. And, well, now are they going to try and go for the Roche?
They want to get a pick off first, it seems like. They have Zeus ult available again, and Doom at the ready.
Skidder starts to beat it down. Drops it down, scan connects, they know they're in there.
Watson still doesn't have meta for 30 seconds.
Does have Demon Zeal. Do they want to take this fight? I mean, it's a very slow Roche.
It's so hard without meta.
Sending in the illusions, pops the ulti, they can't get the toss back. Toby right on top of him. Gets the Soxa control for the moment.
Demonic
33,
cleanse.
He's thinking about it. They have Soxa still under fire a little bit from this and sending in the illusions. 33, getting his blink broken. Gets controlled for a moment and have the lift up.
It's a brew split though.
Katomi under control. Force, get him out of there. Good damage out. A second round. Fishman just explodes, and, well, that is Brew dead. The buybacks come out immediately. The roll through. Stormstormer, but where's the damage? They don't have it. Toby comes back in, immediately gets bashed. Watson on top of him, though. They need to find this kill onto Skidder, but do they have enough? It doesn't look like it.
Tundra's just walking away.
They can't find any initiation onto these heroes.
That's 4 of their buybacks. 2 earlier, 2 now used. And can't actually get any type of grab.
Tundra playing so clean. They are doing everything that they need to.
It's as methodical as I think you can get to get these resets. Snaking just bailing everybody out of bad scenarios. Disruptions, demonic cleanse, purging the perfect targets. And Doom is still available. So they had to use so much there on the side of Entity to just protect themselves. There's still a Doom, but now they're going to try waltzing into the pit themselves. The Roche is low.
Soxa there. Needs to be careful. Katomi, the overgrowth. It's out, and they actually tossed him away.
But the root,
that was not the way that's supposed to go. 33 tossed away from him.
The root missed.
That was a little awkward.
A little awkward from both sides.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Does he have a refresher again? Ah, no, it's a while. 80 seconds with no overgrowth.
Yeah, Katomi no overgrowth, and if 33 wants to, he can probably sell the Midas and pick up his refresher pretty soon.
No meta. 70 seconds.
Push. On the horizon. This Zeus ult is coming back up. Bloodseeker 2 rupture charges as well. These fights continue to still look pretty impossible for Entity. They can't get to these backlines.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah, and no TB meta. He cannot fight without meta.
Has to get into either a refresher or something else, or just wait for the cooldown. Because I guess Tundra don't feel confident going in to try and push the envelope. I mean, getting all those buybacks out, it feels like that's a win for them.
Just waiting for double Zeus ult, I guess, right? We see how potent it is. It's 15 seconds till 9 has it. Multiple heroes just instantly die, it feels like, when he does pop it out.
Fishman needs a raindrop, man. Give this man something.
Maybe even just a casual cloak or something. Just anything to try to help him survive, because he dies in literally one of these nukes.
33, constantly waiting. Roche is down to about a third HP.
Okay, I mean, Watson's looking for the wraparound. 14 on meta.
Smoky. Fishman there, spots them all, throws out the avalanche, whiffs completely. But there's the jump up. 33 used Doom on Fishman. Not sure if that's good enough.
They want snaking so bad.
They all in him right there, and they will find it. But muted for the moment. The roll back and forth just turns to fight. He might just be able to do this. Do they have enough, though? He's in trouble, in a lot of trouble. Needs to wait for that Doom to wear off, but it won't happen. Buyback comes out from that Doom. Control off to the side, but Pingo dead for 2 minutes. Everybody's gone.
It's 2 versus 4.
They don't have nearly enough here, and they come back. But Watson, he's going to try and do it alone, but immediately disruption, and now his illusions are going to tear him apart. Has the Sunder, not going to happen. Entity, they lose 4, and Tundra assume a dominant position in this game. I don't want a tiebreaker.
I think that's it. They have a 30,000 gold lead, no buybacks on anybody. I think Tundra has finally ended this.
Well, there are a billion glyphs left for Entity.
This is true.
But that is definitely feeling like the game is feeling impossible.
They can't, I mean, they have to commit so hard to kill snaking, right?
Yeah.
You can see how important it was for them to try to find this pesky Shadow Demon who's been bailing his buddies out constantly. They have to commit too far. And yeah, they just get full focused. 9. I mean, let's bring up some damage numbers, since I believe there's not going to be a fight with some 2 versus 5. I think this is going to be insane, really, from the Zeus.
He is completely dominated the damage, throwing out ultis, a lot of those, but also in the fights itself. Yeah, Woo! 50K, more than any other 2 heroes in the game.
Yeah. They've done, I mean, it's been the most methodical game I think we've seen from Tundra. I know some people really hate to see it, but it is the way that you control in these type of games and just give no hope of team fights. His Entity, they've got structural damage. They've had maybe 1 or 2 of these successful kind of pickups, but they never have killed 9. 9 is 15, 0, and 9. Hey, look at that.
That's good. And I feel like it's a testament to how much they understand the state of the game right now, what they need to do, right? There was never a doubt in their mind that they just needed to wait for these late game items, wait for this scenario, and Entity wasn't going to be able to fight them.
Yeah, they just wait until this Brewmaster feels completely ineffective, itemized perfectly, and just scale unbelievably hard. 43,000 gold lead.
It's going to keep getting bigger.
Yeah, and they do finally get themselves that Rax. Do they keep going?
Looking for it. Tier 3 going to drop soon. Tundra losing everything. Meta back off cooldown in about 30 seconds. So Entity, they're going to have one last stab at this one.
Everyone is so rich on Tundra. Saksa and Octarine, 5,000 gold on Doom.
They have everything they
crazy
need.
Gold, yeah.
Skitter gets the demonic cleanse onto him. There's a Wind Waker there for 9, so even if there are some troubles, they have ways to get their buddies out of it.
Yep. He's actually holding on to the refresher as well as the refresher shard.
So
can't use both. Gotta pass one over probably, but unless they didn't fix that bug.
Yeah,
I think they did fix.
He wants to save it for later, you know?
Sure.
Just holding it makes him feel good.
Who's it gonna give? Who wants it? Give it a snake. Give him the 12 cleanse and purge charges so he can have too many buttons to click.
You can see Watson, he had the rapier queued up. He needs to finish that.
He has to kill people in like 1 or 2 seconds for them to have, I mean, any hope, which it's felt very unlikely for almost all of this game.
You know what's crazy is that the pace of this game has been set entirely, it feels like, on that bottom tier 1 fight where Watson TP'd in at the end when it was that big fight.
A lot of the game for sure. And 9 getting just a perfect game, right?
Yeah.
2 kills alone onto this Pangolier in the laning phase, set him up to just have just the most ideal game possible versus a Terrorblade when you're the counter.
Well, we are potentially a couple of minutes away from deciding finally that this is going to be the last round of tiebreakers. If Tundra can manage to close this off, rather, if Tundra can manage to throw this away, I don't know what the hell we say.
Then fate just says, you know what? Then it's we're destined to be here forever. You know, if somehow Tundra does throw this one away, that's just what it says.
46k gold lead.
The jump forward, the Doom.
They find him immediately. Lift to try and separate, get some distance. Not going to happen. Pango dead. Does have buyback. Tundra reset. Run away.
We need more gold.
Got to have more.
Back it up. Lane's getting pushed by an illusion.
Wait another 60 seconds.
What power rune are they going to get? Let's see.
Watson
Oh, it's an invis.
Does have enough for Rapier now, but Courier dead for another minute and a half.
Who has the refresher shard?
Not sure. Did he use it? Oh,
I guess he used it.
Oh. Yeah, and now recognizing that,
Wait,
yeah, they share that cooldown.
Did he use it? I guess he did, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
54.
I'm clicking all over the place trying to see if there was one. Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Wants to get that Rapier desperately. But to be honest, like, I don't even know if that really solves the problem.
No, it definitely doesn't. But it's their only attempt, right? It's their only hope and dream. Even like the 1% perhaps could be that Rapier. But yeah, Tundra, their calculations are working.
Back up in 8 seconds for the Doom. Watson going to smoke out with Toby. So a little bulwark in front of him so he can finish off that Rapier and then maybe go... Oh, no. Ooh. Oh, no. Get out of there, Watson. Run away. Oh, they know where they're going. Watson! Watson, no!
Farewell.
Oh, he's in trouble. Don't buy it now. That's not the way to go. Oh, jeez.
Snaking was just blinking to make illusions of the illusions, and he's like, oh, surprise!
But the roll back and forth, they got to find something. But with no buyback on this Terrorblade for 2 minutes, it is looking like an impossibility. 9 gets controlled for a moment by Stormstormer, but there is no follow-up at all. Fishman going to get burnt and bolted down to death. A toss back onto Katomi, gets the overgrowth. The buyback is there from the Rubik. Still 2 minutes before that Terrorblade can come back in and rejoin, and GG is going to be called. There will be an end to the tiebreakers.
One way or another, Stormstormer's right did proceed to say the prophecy.
That's right.
Tiebreak breaker. Tundra, their draft feels like it covered this perfectly. Ideal counter picks versus the cores. And they played this, I think, as methodically as you can get. As Soxa says, it's over.
They're going to the major.
They've made it. Yeah, well played. And yeah, with this draft, I think they touched everything they needed to. I know Kazu said it a lot on the panel, how he highlighted exactly how they were countering each one of these cores.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think Entity, if they had to have some type of chance in this game, there could be like literally 0 mistakes. They need to shut down the Zeus. It never happened, as we said, you know. What is the score line there for 9 at the end? 18, 0, and 11. A flawless performance as they set him up for total success.
Yeah, he had a standout game, was drafted for perfectly. The Terrorblade pick felt a little bit weird in the moment and it ended up getting exploited pretty freaking hard. And I you know, as much as like we're memeing about it and all the rest of it, Tundra, they played the game exactly the way they needed to win. There's this machine learning going on from these players, you know, just deadpan, we're going to input the correct output to make sure we win. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, it's the Curtis calculations. You know, that's what we used to call it as the Curtis brain this time to succeed. And yeah, we're going to see them at the major as play a very methodical game. And that's the Tundra strategy, that's how they've won TI. That's how they decimated a ton of teams. So congratulations.
TI winners at the first major. And for us, we're going to head back to the panel one last time as we get ready for the last game of these tiebreakers.
Tundra have done it. The cycle is broken, and they are going to be going to the major. It was slowly but surely they got this game.
Let's go, Tundra!
Yeah! No more infinite tiebreakers!
I know deep down T is like crying.
I
it's
am,
the meme where it's like a person crying and like a smiley face mask.
I mean, someone
over
messed up the script. I don't know who out there had anything to do with this, but someone messed up.
We could have been
I know I didn't read it, but like...
We could have been in forever, guys. You know what? To be fair, though, Entity, they actually put on a stellar performance to try and do that. But unfortunately, 9 stepped up and was like, no, no, no.
Not today.
This is my game. This is my major. You know, finishing the game 18-0 and 11. He solo killed Stormstormer two times in the mid lane. And out throughout the entire game, it was basically chase the Zeus, try and find him. But he just never died. Never allowed Entity to truly get back into the game.
It was so funny also seeing such